I'm here with another rare
All right. Yeah, let me know in chat if you can hear me now. This should be a hay of a lot better. And unfortunately, that meant that a lot of the things that I was saying weren't actually being said. And you know what? It's a good thing that I'm used to this software now. But yeah, if you still can't hear me, let me know. I'll just type in chat. All right. You know, it's weird. Oh, yeah, good. Audio's good now. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Now, the video output. The one thing that I was hoping that I could do real quick is handle the, I'm using OBS software, and the Droid Cam is what I've been using to try and get my, to get my face on this thing, and it ain't as easy. Unfortunately, it ain't as easy as it was in the first couple of episodes. I'm going to try and fix that right now before we begin. But to kind of cut short what I was going to say, we are actually going to be using Beyblade as today's source. You can kind of see it in the Vegas file that I have here. Now, this is a source that I've been working on since since November, I want to say, November of last year. I've been on and off with it. Really, this is just I think that this is going to be one heck of a source to have fun with, to play around with. And in addition to that, there are probably some opportunities that I miss that you can catch. I think that's the really cool thing about this stream. You see a lot of things that I don't always see on that first go around, which quite frankly is a good thing, because I feel like whenever we have any kind of collaborative project, whether it be you guys on stream with me, or even something as simple as a YouTube hoop tennis match, then it's going to be even better than if it's just a single person working on a YouTube hoop. Now, this is pulled from YouTube, and it's from a Saturday morning cartoon channel, for lack of a better word. There was plenty else, but Beyblade was the one that stuck out to me because, for starters, I can't believe that this is a thing. I know that it was an anime, but I'd never seen the anime. I just thought, oh, okay. There are, it's spinning tops. It's probably just going to be something standard. No, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX levels of batshit. There are so many gold things here. So much gold. And sometimes the paradox of choice kicks in when you are working with something that you know you can do, and you just don't know where to start. It's okay. It's perfectly okay when that happens. So, here we go. And don't mind me, by the way, I haven't done anything yet because I'm trying to still set up the camera. Like I said, if we can't do anything with the camera, we'll just we'll work it out as we go along. But I always like doing this on camera. Makes it a little bit easier. Now let's see if we have any success. This will be my last attempt, and if it don't work, it don't work. No poblano. All right. So we have Droid Cam OBS, this and the other thing, and it looks like I just need to do one small thing. One small thing here. Yep. Z fold. And one last shot. One last shot. And if we can't get it to go right, well, I'm probably going to be shelling out for an actual camera anyways, which is going to be a huge difference here. But seems like nope. Oh wait, what's this? What is this? We have video. I see video. Can I get this to work right? Can I get it to stay working right? Nope. All right, it's probably just going to be a headache and a half, and you know what? It probably has to do with the fact that I have a second monitor set up. That's fine by me. You know what? I'm just going to work on it without my face on the camera, and I could still work things out here. So, first things first, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go through some parts of the episode here, and as I see something, then I'm going to pull it out into the palette like I usually do, and work on it from there. And like I said before, you'll be able to see everything. I have my little browser right here. I've got my downloader right here. Everything is going to be a lot easier to follow right now. And if you have any things that you want to point out, feel free. Now, the one thing I just need to be absolutely certain of is that you can hear the source in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one last look here. One last look. Desktop audio is enabled. So if you can't hear any of the audio from Vegas, then you let me know. And here we go. Now we're not taking a look at the intro. The intro will be handled a little bit differently. And while I'm at it, let me see if I can just make this a little bit bigger. And the answer is yes. There we go. So if you haven't seen, yeah, the music was pretty loud. Okay, thanks for letting me know. So here's what I'm going to do. Blip, blop. That should be good. Yep, if this is better, let me know. So here we are. We have, of course, the spinning top. That's exactly what you think of when you think Beyblade, which is a little odd because you never see these kinds of things lasting for a long time. Now, I've opened it up with a couple of edits from the start. Now, I'll show you what I've gotten so far. So keep in mind, these are usually just things that I want to see if it's going to work out with. If it's going to end up in the final video, that's great.
What a day of Beyblading it has been here in the WBBA.
Yep. So what I want to do here is I just want to try and tackle just some simple edits, some things that stuck out to me. One of the things that you can hear here, WBBA, BB8, the first thing I heard there was BB8. Maybe drop it a touch more so we can hear you better. Just a touch more, that works with me. There we go. And by the way, Flaccid, thank you so much for joining the stream. And I know that I said it before, but you like to everyone else. It's just that you couldn't hear me at the time. Project Corp, welcome. Xander the Commander, welcome. Triangle World, welcome. And thank you so much for being the lookout on this stream. So I actually pulled a green screen BB8 here. Green screens are going to be really easy to find for all sorts of things on YouTube. I just want to take a little bit of this green screen of BB8 here. Now, you're actually going to see some of the windows that I'll be working with. Thanks for the thumbs up on that, Joe. Darth Pixaris, what is going down? Thanks for joining the stream here. So let's make a little bit more room and make that chroma key effect something that we can start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it here, and there's the window. Now, this used to be the part that you couldn't see. And welcome, Mr. This Sucks. Is this still Velma? I'm actually working on Velma a little bit more in the background. I'm probably going to keep it that way because I just want to start off making some, for lack of a better word, I want to start off doing some different things every time I stream, because I think that keeps it a little bit fresh. And in addition to that, I think that there are lots of projects that I have already started that can be brought to the table here. So what this is Beyblade, and this is actually something I started in November. And we're going to take a look at this episode, and boy oh boy, sometimes I really wish I had started working on this a little bit earlier than that. I'm talking years back. So I have a good chroma key here already. The green screen is already effective. I'm just going to make a couple of changes, just a slick change, just in case the shade of green isn't perfect. There we go. I'm going to adjust the thresholds. When I move these sliders, you can see the effect that it has. What it's doing here is it's adjusting what level of green I want cut out. Now, if I take out all the green, that's going to take out all of the green that maybe are some pigments in that BB8. And I don't want that. I want some green to be present because, again, it's in some of these smaller pigments. Now, how do I know how good it looks? Well, I'm actually just going to put it over this little video right here. And you can see right here that if I move the slider a little bit more to the right, it becomes more more decayed, so to say. If I move it over to the left, then the green comes back in. I want to find that sweet spot here. So the high threshold and the low threshold. Low threshold, you can see it's working on that shadow. There's a little bit of a shadow right here that when I move this low threshold meter is coming into view a little bit. But I'm not going to worry too much about that because I want BB-8 to appear in the middle of the ring. In the middle of the ring, maybe just rolling about here and there. The kid with the blue shirt has a funny chin. Kid with the blue shirt. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's a Jay Leno chin. Holy shit. Mister, this sucks. Please tell me you make these. Please tell me you make YouTube poops. If not, you have an eye. You have a really good eye for these things. Actually, I'm just going to take these, move it there. So let's get BB-8 into the middle of the ring here. And one thing I like about this effect is that this is not a still image of BB-8. It's an actual moving video. So oh, looks like I left one little ticker on. Yes, this ticker right here. Yes, you've made a couple. Make more than a couple. Make more than a couple. I cannot stress it enough. I really want to see what you've done. Actually, post it in chat. I'll take a look after the stream. I always love watching some YouTube poops I've never seen before. There we go. Now, I have it here. Now, BB-8 is moving into the foreground just a tad. So I probably want to shrink, like make it look a little less like he's on a flat surface, because this arena here is concaved. It's rounded on the interior. So I'm going to just make some tiny little edits. And before I make those edits, how far does BB-8 go before he's cut off from the screen? Right there. So I'm going to shrink this like so. And that will allow me to shrink BB-8 just a tad so that it's in line with him being on that arena floor. All right, that looks a little bit better. Insert Jay Leno chin over Chin Boy as his chin slowly grows larger. You know, Jay Leno, like I said, that's one of the first things that stuck out to me. My gosh, that is an anime kid Jay Leno. Hey, Captain Pan, thanks for the inside jokes. Anytime, Jeffro. Anytime, my man. Anytime. So, obviously, let's see. You know, it's funny because in another YouTube poop, I've actually made a, and this is a poop that I'm working on. This is one I'm keeping 100% under wraps, except for, you know, patrons. There is a Jay Leno joke that I did make in that poop. So this would actually be the second time that I have made a Jay Leno joke. So let's take a look at some Jay Leno. Let's see. There are different things that we can work on here, and I have no idea where to start. So insert a Jay Leno laugh over the Chin Boy as his chin slowly grows larger. Oof. A Jay Leno laugh. You know, I used to watch Jay Leno when I was younger. I remember his style was very rapid fire. So I don't know what he sounds like when he laughs. What does he sound like when he laughs? Jay Leno laugh. I mean, I remember him wheezing a little bit. Probably not going to find very much on that front. So let's see. Definitely do want to do something with his chin. I mean, this is the Jay Leno that I think about. Obviously, he looks a lot more older now. Yeah, what a coincidence. Exactly. So, whoops. So I want this Jay Leno image right here. Coming to Oceans. Oh, man. I guess it's localized because Ocean City, Maryland. I mean, I'm in New Jersey, so it's pretty far. But you know what? When all else fails, Google image search. There we have it. Microsoft is probably fuming that I'm using their browser for Google, and I don't want to use Chrome. All right, so let's see what we've got. Jay Leno. I definitely want to do something with it. Ah, man, see. Man, he didn't have that big of a chin when he was younger. That's the weird thing. Or maybe it was just me. Okay, So let's save image as, not VEL. What I want is, oh yeah, Beyblade. Beyblade, Beyblade, Beyblade. And I'm just going to put Jay Leno in here. And we can pull him from that folder. Because right now, let's see, Beyblade. Here we are. And there we go. Jay Leno. Man, there are so many things that can be done. And again, the paradox of choice. I mean, one thing that I'm thinking about right now is just, having a little zoom in on this kid's face, and then the Jay Leno face flashing on top of that. I've done that a couple of times in a few videos. Let's see how it would work here. So what I'm going to do is the part that you had not been seeing on prior streams, and now you're going to get a look. This is masking. So what I've got here is a video event effects window. This is Vegas. When you have a video file, when you have an audio file, image file, you can flirt with it from this pop-up. Now, what I'm going to do here, like I said, is I'm going to try and mask it, aka I'm going to try and cut out his face. This good-looking face right here. Now, this is the pen tool when I'm using, aka the Anchor Creation tool. But if you've used Photoshop or any Adobe products, it'll probably come up as the pen tool. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be tracing, just like a connect the dots. So I've created a little anchor right here. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to create another anchor, like this. Now, this is a little connect the dots right here. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a nice little pathway. The pathway is going to circle all around the face, the entire head, end up right back here, and that's going to be how we get that face cut out. Now, I can also click and pull to make curvy lines, because this part of the chin right here, that's a perfect curvature. And I'm going to do this little by little. Now, this tends to be a little painstaking, but in the end, you do get something that you want. A lot of YouTube poops use masking. Fallen Demo, voice sounds so good. Well, thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for the compliment. That's my radio voice that is probably kicking in right now. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm glad to have you on. Enjoy the Beyblade and this gigantic mug of Jay Leno. So right at the hair tends to be a little finicky because it's not just one solid object. It's a bunch of strands. So you have to keep that in mind when you're doing hair. Now, some parts of it, like this part that I'm curving around here, I am okay to get away with it. Any reason not to use Photoshop for stuff like this? No reason, really. The thing is that when it comes to, I'm just used to Vegas. What I'm doing here is a little bit muscle memory, and I don't own Photoshop. Obviously, I can go into Photopea and do pretty close to the exact same thing. But what I can also do is I can make adjustments right here in Vegas itself. So let's just say that I messed up in Photoshop. Well, I have to go back to Photoshop and make those edits. But if everything is in Vegas, then I can readjust. Like, let me show you what I mean here. So I'm going to turn on the mask like so. Now, you can see the face cut out, but you can also see that there's this line right here. It's an awkward looking line. I don't like it. I can actually adjust this right here. So I'm going to go right to my tool. I'm going to take this anchor right here. I can select anchors and I can move them. And when I move them, then you can see it has an effect right there on the screen. Good evening, by the way, Ernest. And it's technically the afternoon for me. So I'm in New Jersey. This is Eastern Standard Time for me right now. Eastern Standard. So we got this mug of Jay Leno. We have Jay Leno's son right here. That's Jay Leno's son. That's what I'm going to be calling him from here on forth. And did my camera just pop on? Oh, well, it's about dang time. Let's see if this actually works now. It's about time you can see my face. What's going on? I always like doing this a little bit better than just regular old screen on something. All right, and we'll see if let's see how long this lasts. I really hope that it lasts for a good long while. So let's get rid of that. So we got Jay Leno head, Jay Leno's son head right here. And which of your YouTube poops is your favorite out of curiosity? You know, it really depends on, it kind of depends on the mood. Like, favorites. I mean, there are YouTube poops that I will, be in the mood to watch more than others. Some of them, like, let's see. I think last year, the one that I watched the most was, what was it called? Shoot, it was one of those long titles. It was shit. Man, drawing a blank here. Let me look it back up. It was the Will Smith one, or the one with lots of Your Mama jokes. Will Smith is awarded a free slap by the slap bet commissioner. That was the one I watched the most last year. Other years, man, cock jokes is a really good one because the concept had been swimming in my head for a long time. The King, any video from the King buys or the King uses UberDuck AI. In addition to that, man, the worst Sonic fan fiction ever. The worst Sonic fan fiction ever. That one is just like. There are some videos that I've made where I would not go back and change a thing. Those are those videos. I mean, in the Sonic one, I would change just one thing, but not much else aside from that. Most anticipated face reveal. I mean, my face was on in the other streams. It just took its jolly old time, and now it's gone. Of course it is. All right, it is what it is. So let's just do a faceless stream. I'm probably going to get an actual camcorder or something to work on this. Tennis match with deeper cut. Oh yeah, the tennis matches with deeper cut. Always a blast. Always a blast. Now, I actually prefer, personally, the superhero one because it was a little bit more flexible. With the Grand Theft Auto one, I was trying to keep it 100% Grand Theft Auto material. That included audio and the video. Because that was, Deeper Cut had wanted that to be the theme of the tennis, and I was still relatively new to Grand Theft Auto in the time. So, really, it was just me watching a whole bunch of those cutscenes and trying to figure out, okay, I can do what with this, I can do what with what. I ended up using, of course, mostly Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but hell of a game. What would I change in the worst Sonic fanfiction ever? So there's a scene where Ellie falls off the Dr. Robotnik's spaceship. She does that, he says, "Do you plan to jump?" She falls, and then it cuts to the scene from The Emperor's New Groove. Now, what happened was, so here's the thing. What was supposed to happen was Ellie was supposed to fall smoothly and hit the ground. But I had so many layers going on, so many layers that I wasn't able to accurately see that was not what was happening. So when I rendered it and uploaded to YouTube and I watched it, I realized, oh shit, that's actually not happening. But I did not want to remove it and fix it and then re-upload it, because back then, 2012, rendering in Vegas was a bitch. It took a long time. And I really thought, you know what? 98% of the jokes are working. I'm good with that. If someone asks, I'll just mention it. Because honestly, like, one of my favorite jokes from that video, are the first minute or so. The first minute, final minutes, a whole bunch of stuff thrown in between. So much great stuff in that video. I wouldn't change a thing. So let's get back to this. So we've got Jay Leno. We're going to just zoom in on this. Now I just need to think. We have... Now, oh yeah, that's right. He actually talks. This character actually talks in this clip, if memory serves. Let me see. Oh no, he doesn't talk. So he doesn't talk. Does Oh wait, no, he does talk because he opens his mouth, and everyone else has their mouth open. What the hell? They're just, my God. You could shoot peas in their mouths. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Listen to how long he shouts. Listen to how long this is. Oh man, that's one thing I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be extending that up. That's a great idea. I still have mistakes like that with just one or two layers, and half the time it's just Vegas being stubborn. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Vegas in 2012, world of difference from Vegas from Vegas of today, and that's probably not due to anything Sony did. It's probably just because lots of kinks are being worked out. It just got complicated. Yep, exactly. All right, so here's what I'm thinking we do. Okay. Right here is where we're going to start this. My gosh. My gosh, what a loud, loud shout. Okay, let's get this. Yeah, right there is good. So we're going to have this. Maybe we'll get to the very end here. And then we're going to, let me put this into best mode so we get a more accurate picture. And we're going to take a little snapshot of this. I'm going to put the snapshot into the Beyblade folder. It'll be classified as Jay Leno face. Yeah, make it longer. That's exactly what I am going to be doing, Mr. This Sucks. You read my mind. Somebody can make a YouTube poop from those screams. Absolutely. It's going to be a little harder because there is like background cheer in this. And of course, you've got those, electronic drum sounds there. So I'll go to the little, whoops. Let's get that Jay Leno face right here. So it was right about here that we got that snapshot. I'm going to shrink this, put it right here. Let's see if I have that matched perfectly. Almost perfectly. One more frame should do it. One more frame. Still no, maybe two more just to play it safe. And if we're wrong, we'll correct that. In fact, let me just change this to auto. That way it's a little smoother. I think that's one more frame. There we go. Oh, actually. And trying to get this transition to work smoothly. There we go. That's what I want to see. And the reason why I wanted to do a still image of that particular frame is because it will make it easier for us to zoom in on this face and have that Jay Leno effect. So remember what I was showing you about the anchors for masking everything out. Well, those anchors can also be used for this. So I have one anchor right here. This anchor represents where what the image's position is right here. Now, this of course is the timeline. I have a little miniature timeline right about here. I'm going to move the little slider right here. I'm going to make a change. I want to zoom in. I want it to zoom in, but it's going to be an animated zoom in. Now you can't see it here, but when I hit play on this, this is what it will look like. I'll just do this frame by frame. That'll probably make it easier. So you could see here, he is like, this is the ultimate close-up right here, which is exactly what I want. It's not smooth. It's looking right now because, again, it's Vegas, and that tends to be a little bit finicky when it comes to smoothness. But it's at a position that I like. And the reason why I want to do that is I want to take that Jay Leno cutout that we've got. Let me just pull this into view a little bit more. Now, Jay Leno, this head, I'm not going to do anything as far as animating it. I'm just going to keep it at this anchor so that I can increase it. There's not going to be any change in size, but I'm going to overlay it over the head. Overlay it just like that. Excellent. Linear keyframes. Yep. I'm using terminology that probably isn't the correct terminology here. So he zooms in like so. And the audio is, he's just going to continue to shout, rip it up. And then Jay Leno. This is something I really like to do. What I'm doing is I'm doing multiple splits. You probably have seen this effect in some of my other videos. Then I'm just going to get the every other one of these frames selected, and I'm going to delete them. And what it will end up looking like is, 1 second. Who's this guy anyway? That is Jay Leno. Jay Leno, he was, well, actually, he is very famous for hosting The Tonight Show in the 90s and the 2000s. Whoops. And he is very well known for the size of his chin. The reason why I'm using him is because, holy smokes, the size of this kid's chin is ginormous. There we go. And I'm probably going to shrink this a little bit more. But for now, right here, I'm going to try and extend that. Now, the way that this can be extended, there are two ways. The first way is I can kind of merge the two audio files to make it sound a little bit more natural. I knew you when I saw your Sonic and Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube poops. Man, that is going a ways back. Miss Player, thank you so much for sticking with being a subscriber for all this time. Can you make a Crash Bandicoot YouTube poop? I can probably, I don't know if there's very much in the way of Crash Bandicoot media aside from cutscenes. I can definitely include some Crash Bandicoot here and there. Gonna stick the Haruhi face steel noise in there. There's a plomp noise. Yeah, that. So I'm not gonna insert that little splat noise here. I'm gonna do something very different. I'm gonna be including a different noise, but it's gonna be a different one. So trying to merge these audio files together. And you know what? That's good. Excellent. Let's see how long we can extend it for. I heard a little bit of a... And now the sound effect that I want. The sound effect that I want. Let me just make it like so. Man. Strange thing is that I've been watching that scene. I definitely wanted to extend that audio. What else I wanted to do with it was a little bit unknown to me, but I knew that I wanted to do something. Now, let's get that sound. Let's see. I'm actually going to pull the sound from his audio here. Yes. And now I've got another layer right here. I'm going to take that. There we go. Which screaming meme is your favorite? Which screaming meme? You'll have to be a little more clear. I'm not sure what screaming meme, what you mean by screaming meme there. How can I make a YouTube poop if I don't have Sony Vegas? Easy. You can use anything. To OBS Studio disconnected, reconnecting. Reconnection successful. Yeah, it seems all right to me. All right. But yeah, to your point, to my point, you can make a YouTube poop out of anything. Don't be afraid to just flirt with something in a standard video editor. You cut out for a second. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, okay? I have a second monitor hooked up that I'm trying for the very first time right now, and it seems like it's iffy, for lack of a better word. And I gotta work out those kinks. But yeah, just open up any video editor that you've got, put something in it. It could be anything. Have fun with it. That's the whole thing. Have fun with what you make. Don't even worry about fans. Don't even worry about, trying to make something that's funny. Just have fun with it yourself. Make something that you love. Let's see how this sounds. Good. All right. And I want to shrink this a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not sure how it cut out, to be completely honest, but I'm going to try and make sure that doesn't happen again. Let's see. Like, oh my god, what am I fighting for? Favorite screaming meme. I'm not really sure what I would list as my favorite. I mean, when I think of what am I fighting for, I think that I know what you're talking about. It's that Mega Man show that was poorly dubbed, and it has that character, what am I fighting for? Screaming just like that. Yeah, working now. Okay, good. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. Let's see here. And oh my gosh, this face right here is also something else. I don't know what about that face. It's horrible. Okay. So we're going to come back to this. All right. Don't think I need to do anything there. So we're just going to remove that. Too bad you ain't going to do Ice Age YouTube poop based on the sequels. Well, don't count that out. Don't count that out. I'm actually starting to lean a little bit more toward it. I wonder if DaVinci Resolve is a good editing software for YouTube poops. As long as you can edit videos, it's a good software for YouTube poops. I mean, anything can be useful. Back in 2007, the only useful video editor that maybe 90% of creators had access to was Windows Movie Maker. I'm going back to Windows XP and Vista times. That's how old this is going back to. And it crashed often. It didn't let you do very much in the way of sophisticated things. It was intended more to be like putting some camcorder videos into one whole video, more like combining videos rather than actual editing. But people used it nonetheless. They flirted with it. They put Hotel Mario and a whole bunch of other things into it. And they made some incredible, incredible things. In fact, Deepercut actually got his start with Windows Movie Maker. His very first YouTube poops were done that way. Then he graduated to the Adobe Suite. And in the Adobe Suite, he was able to do even more. Yep, Windows Movie Maker, very good for its time. Can you put Peppa Pig in this YouTube poop? If I can find a way. There's a modded Windows Movie Maker that includes custom effects and transitions, stuff like that. Yeah, you know what? There were some downloadable plugins, if memory serves, that you could have added to Windows Movie Maker. I remember one that allowed you to reverse the video, reverse things, and you couldn't do that in Windows Movie Maker. You couldn't do that. You always had to have the movie going forward. So being able to reverse, I remember some creators just taking every single individual frame, splicing it, or just slicing it rather, and then reversing its order to try and create the effect of a reversal. I want to make a Danny Phantom YouTube poop sometime. That's a name. Well, man, Danny Phantom. That was way back in the 2000s. No way you're YouTube pooping Beyblade. Yes, Sway, I am YouTube pooping Beyblade Metal Force. Don't worry about it right now. I'd love to see some examples of how you sentence mix. You know what? I might as well skip ahead. Okay. Since you asked, there is a sentence mix that I am going to show you. Now, this is one that I worked on, let's see, almost from the get-go. Sometimes when you watch a source for the very first time, things stick out at you and you have to address them immediately. This is one of those instances. So I'm going to play this audio sound. Let me just make sure it is what it is. And Beyblade Reddit lip.
So, you got your butts kicked, and then you just came crawling back here like little babies.
So that's the antagonist of this show. He sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon antagonist, doesn't he? And I took that and made this.
So, you got your butts kicked, and then you got your kicked butt, and then you got your butts butt.
Could use some unnecessary censorship. I'm a little iffy on that. I'm a little iffy on the use of censor bleeps, but I'll think about some ways that I can make it funny. Have you ever heard of Greenie Phantom? I have not. I have not heard of that. It sounds like something from Danny Phantom. There we go. Yeah, like I said, that's one of the earliest sentence mixing. I just needed to do that right off the bat. You know, sometimes I start projects based on one edit that I see, just one single edit, and I think, you know what, I've got to add more. Now, this is one where I saw a couple more edits. I'll show you them as we go along. But we're going to continue with the episode here.
Watch and find out.
And I think we're just going to skip ahead a little bit. Now, by the way, you know how in Yu-Gi-Oh! In Yu-Gi-Oh! How you have all of these antagonists with gigantic hair that's always multicolored? Well, I give you the Beyblade protagonist, excuse me. He's got belts, he's got unnecessary capes, and that's his hair. I have no idea what the deal is with this kind of hair. Greenie Phantom, if I'm spelling it right, is a completely different thing from Danny Phantom, yeah. And then he came like little babies. You know what? That is... Oof. Shoot. Well, I gotta add that now. Here, let me just go right back. Here, let me just splice it so I know where to go. Letter rip joke for top cheesy. You know what? Man, way back in the early 2000s, I thought about using Beyblade just to, you know, have an excuse to make fart jokes. Now I don't know how I want to implement a fart joke amongst all of the other types of jokes that we've got.
So, you got your butts kicked,
Go back here.
and then you just came, and then you just came.
All right, I'm going to keep this off to the side. I'll probably want to do something with that. How did you get access to that Beyblade source for the first place? Good question. Let me show you. I was actually extremely surprised by this, but the entire series is on YouTube. The entire series, Beyblade Metal Force. Let me actually just show you this right here. Or Metal Fusion, excuse me. And yeah, that's the thing. Let's just go to this playlist. View full playlist. And they're all on this, like, yeah, Cartoon Power Up. That's the channel. I don't know if this is, like... I have no idea if this is the company that owns it, kind of like how Deke owned The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. But every single episode is up there. They have Bakugan short clips. They have some shows I've never even heard of. They have Bay Wheels. I have no idea. But Beyblade Metal Fusion just stuck out for some odd reason. Metal Masters, Metal Fury. Is Beyblade still a thing? I have no idea. But Cartoon Power Up. That's the channel that has all of these. Oh my gosh. Whew. And do I actually like Beyblade, or am I just using it as a YouTube poop example? I'm just using it as a YouTube poop example. I actually owned a Beyblade way back when. That was because my brother at the time, he had one, and he gave me one. And, it's a really well-built top. That's what it is. It's a really well-built spinning top. I had no idea that the anime for it went this hard, because I only ever saw clips of maybe, 5 minutes of the anime. And even then, like, the things that they do in the anime, they summon monsters from their spinning tops. They summon monsters from their spinning tops. I have no idea how hard the other shows go, but it is absolutely insane what Japan thinks of. It's obvious that this was intended to sell toys. Alright, so here we go. The fight continues. And... Bummer. Oh my gosh. That's the other thing. The dubbing in these shows is so kid-friendly. I bet you in the actual sub, this is probably a curse. Have you ever played that one game called Pizza Tower, where a fat Italian man needs to save his pizzeria? I have not. I honestly have not. I'm sorry to say. I'll think about doing some gaming streams. I'll probably keep them off of YouTube. I'll probably keep them on Twitch, because I wanted the YouTube stuff to actually be poop-related. I expected the answer to be either a piracy website or you have a DVD with some episodes on them. My golly, if there was a DVD of Beyblade, it would probably be in the 99-cent bin in a Walmart. Some art of it online isn't kid-friendly. Probably not. Yugi's undying love of spinning tops. Oh my god. Alright, so let's see. I have... Oh, hang on. Vegas is just acting a little bit slow. So I have that here. I'm going to use it for what? Let's see. And then... Oh yeah, and the tops, of course, they're 3D computer-generated tops. And the backdrop is all 2D animated. Sample that bummer later on to slow down but louder. Maybe when someone gets hurt. Let's see how that sounds, actually. Let's just isolate the bummer. Okay. Let's see how it sounds slowed down. Maybe a little less. Yeah, I like that. Absolutely. Bakugan had a Wii game, and I would see dozens of them at Five Below in like 2014. Yeah, I didn't just see Bakugan at Five Below. I saw Skylanders there, which was a little weird for me because wasn't Skylanders supposed to be this big, gigantic franchise? And no, I saw, like, I think it was the Giants one, the whole set, the whole thing for $5. It went for $60 on release, and it was $5 1 year later. Beyblade was one of my childhood shows, and one of the shows that I didn't know was an anime originally, alongside Spider-Man, Metabee. Yeah, I mean, Beyblade just doesn't seem like the most likely the most likely product to have a show or spin-off of it. But they found a way. Can you make a Hotel Mario reference? You betcha. I'm definitely going to be making something. I feel like something definitely can... Yeah, exactly. Flaccid Joe, right. If they say Bit Beast, you gotta make it say Butt Beast. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard for them to make them say Butt Beast, considering that someone just said bummer. You could just take the first part of ba and put it there. I have no idea what Bit Beast is, though. I'm brand new to Beyblade, relatively, so if there is a Bit Beast like piece of dialogue anywhere, I'll take it. You can add bummer to say bum, that's one thing. Have him say bum bum, yep. Skylanders flopped hard after a couple of years. Absolutely did. I think that, I think they saw what Nintendo was doing with Amiibo, I'm guessing, and they thought, oh, I could do that too. But, you know what? Probably sold millions still. All right. It's funny considering how consistently the audience always wants Hotel Mario, CDI, Mama Luigi, Dr. Rabbit. So the thing is that they're YouTube Poop staples, and I include them in a lot of my YouTube poops still to this day. So I don't know if it's tradition. I don't know if it's easy to mix with them because of how easy it is to sentence splice everything. Yeah, I thought Skylanders was big too. I don't get it. I'm pretty sure Beyblade was first released basically as a franchise trying to evoke the success of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, that's what I thought. In fact, I remember seeing a commercial way back when for something called Duel Masters, which looked like it was a card game, and I know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was subtitled Duel Monsters. I thought that was a ripoff of Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember hating on the new brown-haired female character in Beyblade. She was so insufferable, but I'm the only one who hated her. Oh man, I haven't gone through that many. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't say that. If you're thinking about a misplayer, if you're thinking about the episode, I think it's episode 2, episode 3, where she takes the protagonist Beyblade and tries to fix it, saying, "Hey, it's hurt." That might be the one. I haven't seen too many episodes yet. Make it look like the Beyblade is about to fly back and kill him. Oh yeah, you betcha. Let's do that. This animation here. That swoosh. Let's see. I want to get. How can I get that top to land on him? Let's see. Right about here, the top. Let's see. I can make that happen. I can make that happen. Let's pull it since it's fresh on the mind. Let's pull it right over here. Right over here. And let's see. Move this out of the way. Can we get this to look good? The first thing I'm going to do... Ah, man. And yes, yet again. All right. Takes a second for the preview window to load up fully. There we go. Is there something on top here? Yeah, that's why. Man, what is up there? Oh, I know what this is for. I gotta put it over here. All right. Let's see what this sounds like with the old forward reverse trick. Bitbeast is the name of the monsters in the Beyblade. Okay, so they're kind of like the monsters that come out when the tops spin. Okay. Thanks, Grimfang. Oh, man. I think her name was Hillary. I would have to look at those episodes again. I have known YouTube poop career without spit dinner jokes. You know what? Nothing wrong with spit dinner jokes. Nothing was ever wrong with spit dinner jokes. If it was funny and you laughed, great. It did its job. What about some Harvey Birdman attorney at law references? Again, it's got to kind of fit in the video. If I can find a way to make it work, I'll make it work. Like, one thing I want to make sure of is that I'm not shoving something in. Like, square peg, round hole. It's got to feel like I'm putting a square peg in a square peg. Just like that. A lot of Japanese properties went for that kind of approach, and it worked for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. Basically launch with a central product and have a ton of tie-in properties. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with a lot of anime in general as well. I mean, if you go to any convention, you'll see figurines, you'll see art, and every time a new anime is launched, regardless of what it's going for, regardless of whether it's trying to be a comedy, a drama, there's always going to be so much promotional stuff that goes with it. And that's part of how these studios profit off of this kind of animation. Now, in the case of shows like Beyblade, where you're taking something that is very Japanese and you're bringing it over to the States, they're not randomly picking shows from like a lottery. They're doing it because there's a clear marketable toy line that these companies believe is going to appeal really well to Americans. And that was the case with Pokemon, that was the case with Digimon, that was the case with Yu-Gi-Oh!, and that was the case with Beyblade. Now, I don't know if the tops came first with Beyblade, because it definitely seems like that kind of show where the tops definitely did come first, and they thought of, let's just make a batch of anime after this. Duel Masters was a ripoff, but surprisingly good. Spinning top injury. Yeah. Take That Child looks like Uzaki-chan for... Who's Uzaki-chan? Uzaki-chan. What does Uzaki-chan look like? Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. I can see the semblance. Can make it saw your mom. Let's see. First, I'm going to just see. Let's see. I like that. I like the way. I just like those forward reverses where I have that smooth animation and it just glides. It's the best way I can describe it. It glides. Make a still frame, mask the top when it lands, and animate it dropping of the guy. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. So first thing I want to do is I want to get that animation in there. Where does it end? It ends right here. And it's going to be a very time-consuming effect. Definitely going to be a lot of masking in this. Definitely going to be a lot of masking. So let's go here. Let's just cut it off right there. Now, the top right here starts flying, and then at right about here, the clip ends and it transitions to another angle. It transitions behind him. So right about here, I'm just going to go one frame shorter just in case there's something a little wrong with the animation. So I wonder if you'll monetize yourself by opening a Patreon, Coffee, or PayPal. So I actually do have a Patreon. I actually do. Hang on, un momento. So I started a Patreon with the release of Game On Part 2. Let me just post that into the chat so you can see. There you go. Yeah, Game On Part 2, I started a Patreon because I want to do this for a living. I mean, I definitely want to start doing this to the point where if I can just have fun like this, make these kinds of weird, wacky edits, then that would be so cool. All right, I think the top right here is what I want. So I'm gonna take this. I don't care about the name. I'm just gonna pull it into the template anyway, and then I'm gonna mask this out. So that way, when I get to this point, I can mask out this top, replace it with this top, and then have it fall on him. Just like that. Brewing some coffee and eating some cereal too, and enjoy another Saturday morning Captain stream. Thanks, dude. Thank you, Dello Yellow. I keep forgetting that the time zones are a little different, but thank goodness I'm not doing this in the morning Eastern Standard Time. If you search Greenie Phantom, you'll get a crappy show made with MS Paint with unfunny logos joke. Greenie Phantom. Hang on. I'm going to write that down. Greenie Phantom. Greenie Phantom. Man, it sounds like Danny Phantom related content. I'll tell you that right now. Greenie Phantom. I'll look that up after that. Thanks. Okay. And I forgot the Mega Man. Oh yeah, the Mega Man anime. So the Mega Man anime that I remember, I actually watched it when I was young. It was called Mega Man NT Warrior, and I didn't realize until after I had, gotten acquainted with YouTube Poop that there were other Mega Man shows. I thought that Mega Man NT Warrior was the Mega Man. But nope, it turns out it was just one in a sea of everything else. And NT Warrior was just another take on it. I was actually pushing for Deeper Cut to use that, but I think that it would have been pretty difficult at the time because it was really hard to get the episodes off YouTube. It wasn't exactly as popular as something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, obviously. I always thought I was the only one who could take bits of clips and paste them at random timelines and edit from there. Then I would combine them all to the video. Yeah, I do. That's how I've always done it. If there's like another way to do it, then news to me. But ever since I started using Vegas in 2008, that's how I've been doing it. Just doing it right there in the timeline. If there's another way to do it, I mean, cool. I'll explore the way, but at this point, it's just muscle memory. I think I've made over 200 videos using that very method. Now, this top right here is jagged. It's got corners more than it has curves. So I'm not too worried about how this mask is going to look in the end. I don't care if it's, perfectly symmetrical, because it's also going to be shrunken as well. And that shrinking, because keep in mind, when the top is like all the way up here, it's so small. So you're not going to be able to see any imperfections, if there are any imperfections in this mask right here. Hey man, I've always wanted to make poops, and I've loved your videos for over a decade. I'd love to help you make more and make this your living. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Flaccid Joe. Thank you so much. I feel really weird calling you Flaccid Joe, even though that's your name. I'll just call you Joe. Sounds good to me. But yeah, I mean, if you support me on Patreon, you're gonna get, obviously my deepest thanks, but I always try to make things more fun when you're a patron. When you're a patron, I want to try and do more for everyone who is part of that A-list, so to say. When the top lands, you should put an anvil dropping sound effects from the old Looney Tunes short. Yeah, that's one sound effect that you could do, or that I could do. The anvil sound effect might just be a really good one right here. It might just be the best one. What are some other ones? Okay, let's complete this and then see how it looks. Again, we're not going for perfection here. That's good. That's good. Right there. So next, we're going to return to the clip right about here. Now, the good news. Now, here's the thing. The camera is panning upwards, but it stops right about here. So I'm going to cut. Now, the top is right here in this position. It's going to fly a little bit more. Yes, it's exactly what I was hoping for. I'm going to take another snapshot. And then I'm going to take that snapshot, cut out, using masking, the part that I want. So right about here, when it's at the apex of the rise, what I want to do is I want to get just let's use the masking effect again. This is going to be a less time-consuming mask, a much less time-consuming mask. I want to get as much of this as needed. Good. And do I have let's see. I don't think anyone did a YouTube poop based on the Mega Man anime. The Mega Man NT, I'm assuming you're talking about NT Warrior. There probably are a couple of NT Warrior YouTube poops. I just have to look for them. But, excuse me, taking a sip. But the thing about that show is that it came out in the early 2000s. It was alongside Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time, the very first iteration of Yu-Gi-Oh! It aired on what was then Kids WB. Now, the thing about that, let's see how this looks. Perfect. Excellent. Wonderful. So right here is where I'm going to take this, and I'll make my edits accordingly. So the thing about that show is that I think it only had 2 seasons maybe, and obviously it wasn't going to compare to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Juggernaut, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost always had 2 brand new episodes every Saturday morning. Every other show except for Pokemon had 1. Pokemon was still pretty big at the time. I forget what season of Pokemon we were at. I think it might have been, Johto or Hoenn or something like that. Yeah, let's see. Can we push deeper to come back with an RE4 Remake Deeper Cut Edition? Man, I'll tell you, I would love to see him come back. I would absolutely love to. So one of the biggest obstacles that's stopping him from coming back is YouTube. What's happening is that, so I think that people from 2007 who were initially following him might know this. His channel he had actually gotten from a friend. It was called Deeper Cut already, and he was, he was just using it for his YouTube poops because, it was his. So, because it wasn't his, but his friend's, when he attempted to log back in at one point, there was like a second factor authentication thing going on, and that meant that the code that he needed was going to an email that he didn't have access to. So he actually does not have access to the Deeper Cut channel anymore, which is really unfortunate. Now, on top of that, I mean, he doesn't have a device on his person, an old enough device for him to log back in. I would love to see that guy return. I mean, he was the one person, like him, Walrus Guy, they were the people that I followed so closely, very early on, because they were really big inspirations for me. They were them, Garbage Head 3, who made 3 of the most popular CDI YouTube poops of the time. I mean, they were all extremely inspiring people to me. Like, YouTube poop in general was very inspiring to me because it was this very, I guess for lack of a better word, DIY form of funny video making that was extremely unlike what I saw in Newgrounds. Now, I just call him Flaccid. Nah, I wouldn't call. Well, I mean, I'll leave that up to you, Joe. If you want to be called Flaccid, you let me know. Probably the reason why I'm diagnosed with autism in the first place. Maybe. I mean, I kind of feel like with YouTube poop, you don't have to be, a certain type of person to enjoy that kind of humor. If it's funny, it's funny. Let's see. I didn't realize how diverse the genre, style, and contents YouTube poop were. I thought they were all the same. No, there is so much. Oh my gosh. Like, the kind of video that I make, this is just scratching the surface of what YouTube poop can be. You've probably seen like my tennis matches with Deeper Cut. There is a YouTube poop tennis community, and that community has done things with effects, with layering, that are incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the type of styles that are being used, oh my gosh. Now, they're extremely laden with effects, so you'd have to really watch them over and over and over again just to figure out what is going on. And that's only if you're well versed in Vegas and video editing. But no, not all YouTube poops are the same. Like, there's so many styles that you can enjoy, and people will find different things funny. Who is your favorite Pokemon champion? You know what? For that, I've got to go back to my childhood. I'm going to choose... Technically, it was Gary. Technically, it was Gary because in those very first games, he was my chief adversary, I guess, for lack of a better word. Even though in the first Pokemon games it was meant to be Giovanni. But, I mean, I really wish that we had like an adversary in a Pokemon game who, when he loses, his father comes and says, Gary, you lost because you didn't love your Pokemon enough. That was something. That was something else. Waxination was the peak of YouTube poops. Waxinator made some really, really good stuff. I think that, like, peak of YouTube poops, I mean, that's all going to be based on, obviously it's all opinion. I think that, it's really tough to say peak because there's still a lot that's going on in this genre right now. Wait a minute, what's this? That's what's going on. Forgot, I've got to put this under here. But Waxinator did a lot of great funny videos and a lot of funny edits. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Nope. I had it right the first time. What am I doing? Come on. You can do it. There we go. Whenever I see that scroll wheel, I always have to hold my breath and hope that Vegas doesn't crash. It crashed a lot way back when. Can you make a YouTube poop where Link asks for a free month cereal? Maybe. I mean, the thing about it is that usually when I use CDI as a source, more often than not, it's going to be the King because it's tying into the King series, as I like to call it. Where, the King buys game stunk, the game uses UberDuck. maybe I can fit something in. The thing about it is that after all of these tools came out where CDI characters could be made to say almost anything that they wanted, it was really hard for me to find the, I feel like that's exactly where, I don't know if it's where YouTube Poop is going, but I feel like that's going to be one of the things that becomes more and more popular in YouTube Poops, that use of AI technology to replicate the voices from those scenes. Now, there are some people who are still doing it the way that I like, the old-fashioned sentence mix. Now, not old-fashioned, but sentence mixing in general. Jimmy D, one of them. I mean, he does extremely good stuff with sentence mixing in all of his CDI videos, in all of his videos, really. And the AI movement, I mean, I guess we'll see what comes of that, but for the most part, I mean, I really hope that it does not overtake good old-fashioned sentence mixing. Oh, man. Oh, that's so sad. I watched those guys. Yeah, Krobo, man. Krobo makes some good stuff. In fact, fun fact, he has a Twitter, Crow Boats, like boats, sailing. And when the Will Smith slap happened last year, he actually put a YouTube poop up on his Twitter channel that you can see. Actually, really, really funny. Oh, man. Would be nice for him to come back, maybe on a different channel. Walrus Guy sometimes appears. One YouTube pooper to come back recently is CJ Flow. CJ Flow. Well, no, there is a name that brings me back. Did he really come back? Let me just check real quick. Let's see. CJ Flow. Man, I remember watching Metal Gear Cosby. Oh my god, he did come back. Holy smokes. Yeah, Metal Gear Cosby, that was the one I remember. Dr. Phil YouTube Poop collaboration 4 years ago. Halloween Water. And then he just put something out. Wow. Dang. That's awesome. That is awesome. Alright, let's get that anvil sound effect. Anvil sound effect from... No, we don't want the Minecraft one. We want the cartoon one, the Looney Tunes one. Sound effect for editing. Let's see what it sounds like. That's exactly what I want. I actually use that effect very often when I bring back that Will Smith slap. So it's probably already downloaded. Nope. It's probably already downloaded. I just have to pull it from another file. But I'm okay with re-downloading because this is such a small file. All right, let's put it in. Let it download. Anvil Drop is the name of it. Heading back to Vegas. Import. Anvil Drop. Anvil Drop. Anvil Drop. Anvil Drop. Remove this part. It's this I need. Yes. Yep. I love the way that moves. Okay. Let's put it right here. And I'll definitely want to do more with the impact scene, maybe have something explode or something, but for now, let's keep that where it is. Man. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry about some of the small things when it comes to YouTube poops, because you're going to want to focus on getting as many of those edits in and then looking back and thinking, okay, I could probably make this better. Because what you do on one day when you're making a YouTube poop is going to be so very different from what you do from when you approach it the next day. You'll probably see a whole bunch of different jokes when you, let's say it's on a Monday, you're watching this source. Oh, I could do this. And then you watch Tuesday, and then you think, oh, how did I miss that? Like that. Am I familiar with the old creator MTB710? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And he was amazing. Yes. Man, YouTube variety is crazy. I'm trying to catch up on everything in the chat, so bear with. In 2009, Cat Pan, Walrus Guy, I'm a Person, Great British Turd, all of them had their own signature styles. Great British Turd, another great example. I mean, he made. I actually played tennis with Great British Turd in 2008, back when. This was back before I played with Deeper Cut. I was in this competition on what was then YouTubepoop.com or YouTubepoop.com. And it was like a bracket. If you were deemed the winner, you moved on. I was in the first round against Great British Turd, and he is insane with his edits. Absolutely insane. Like, it was awesome. I lost, but I'm glad that I got to play with him. It was a style that I don't typically dabble in, and I was able to, work a little bit more. Nowadays, it's ridiculously varied. Yeah, it is. Jeez. The GTA tennis match with Deeper Cut got me into GTA. Me too. I actually, shortly after the match, I actually went and played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I love it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. What's Obama's last name? Bama. All right, I heard there's a sub. Don't regret getting the trilogy for PS2. Well, I know that there was a trilogy, but I've only ever played San Andreas, and I do have Grand Theft Auto 5. I think everyone has it at this point if they have a modern console.
That is a stadium out. The winner is, give it up for...
Man, the winner is, give it up for...
That is a stadium out. The winner is, give it up for Kenta Yumiya. He now advances to the third round.
Man, I feel like that announcer character, he's been in some other shows, hasn't he? I don't know what they are, but he's definitely been there. Oh, man. I hope Crobo's still alive. Don't worry, Dello Yellow. Crobo is still alive. And, I hope Fresh Prince's success didn't make him quit. I hope so, too. I mean, the guy was very naturally funny. And I can't explain it, but there are so many points in that Fesh Prince poop that normally if it was in another video by itself it wouldn't work, but everything just works. The forward and sentence mixing, the quotes, numbers. I can't explain it. It's just magic. And of course, hey G, would you make me a sandwich? AI technology sucks for now. Oh man. The King's Unreasonable Demands. I think that was Swish Films. Yeah. Isn't CJ Flo a girl? I guess so. I always assumed the name was like it was a guy because CJ. Like I knew a guy named CJ. If I'm wrong about that, though, I better correct. Yeesh. Yeah, I hate my internet connection. Don't worry. Me too. Let's see. Oh, this is dope. I've always wanted to watch a YouTube creation live like this. I remember first seeing your channel back when you were running YouTube Poop. I'm glad to have you on, Riley Alexandra. Thank you so much for being part of this. Yeah, this is something I'm doing every so often. Oh, and I better tell you right now. Normally I do this. I'm trying to do this every other week. The next one will actually be in April, though, because I will be at PAX East during that weekend. So PAX East is where I'll be. So if you're heading to PAX East, hey, you might meet me. You'll meet Jimmy as well and a bunch of other cool dudes as well. All right, I think it got better. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just gonna kind of skip through this.
That is a stadium out. The winner is, give it up for...
Man, I love this frame isn't moving, and they do this all the time. These like kids animes just to save on the animation budget. They just have this outline right here. It's just so odd. Oh man, I thought your tennis with May Aids was only between the two of you. No, it wasn't a tennis with May Aids. It was a tennis with It was a tennis with Great British Turd. The tennis with May Aids was just a regular old tennis. Okay. Man, can I put I am mean? I've never used I am mean in a YouTube poop before, so I'll figure out a way to make it work. There needs to be a website that focuses solely on YouTube poops. I mean, YouTube is going to be the place to watch YouTube poops indefinitely. I think that any attempts to try and migrate elsewhere. Haven't really worked out. But there's a site called YTP Mania where people can upload their YouTube poops. There's also Reddit, the Reddit YTP subreddit. I think Pinchbacks is another forum that's come about. You can check out there if you want to be with some, like-minded individuals. Let's see. The Switch Films, but they're just really filthy. Yes, Switch Films was just, oof. I mean, back then it wasn't uncommon for those kinds of CDI YouTube poops to be very filthy potty mouths. All right. Cortez 3000. Yes, Cortez 3000. Can't forget them. Yes. Make a pooping corner with banner at PAX. Give absolutely no context. Oh, man. I'm probably just going to be wandering PAX more often. I'm going to be checking out a whole bunch of the things there. This is my first time going to a PAX conference. I'm curious what's going to be there.
All right! Aw, this totally bites!
Oh, man.
This totally bites!
This just reeks
This totally bites!
of, 90s, 2000s lingo. Nobody talks like this.
Bummer!
We got bummer. This totally bites. It's like rocket power. The Pinchbacks forums got closed and now a Discord server community. Okay. Most of the potty mouth YouTube poops weren't good. His were. I mean, he made some, he layered so many jokes. Just when you thought it couldn't get any filthier, it got filthier. Best cure for a hangover. The only thing I could think of is tea. That's all I've got for you. Sorry, Della Yellow. Cortez, Santa with teeth was amazing. Kind of scared me much younger with how creepy they like to make things. Yeah, so the Cortez video that I remember most of all was, I think, the Fry Cook Gay Games. And it was very simple in concept. He just took the word games, removed the MES, made it gay, and put that before the word games. And little tiny edits like that were very, very common. They were easy, and they were funny for a lot of people. Very effective. So it didn't surprise me that it was popular, because sometimes the simplest humor can be the most brilliant. In fact, if you ever go to a stand-up comedy show, you'll hear a lot of sex material, but the sex material will be very funny. It's easy to kind of write that kind of stuff. Way Uncool Man. Oh, yeah. Another good 2000s ad lib. Drink a beer when you wake up. I'll take your word for that. I think May got me into classic YouTube poops at one point in 2018. Well, man. May goes all the way back to 2007. And the sad part is that May never liked popularity. He had so many channels. And he would consistently close channels when he felt like his videos were getting too popular. And that meant that, if you downloaded a May video, then it was like treasure. So, I think there are still some videos of his that I can't even find that I remember watching way back when. Yo, Cap, what'd I miss? Watched everything but the last 40 minutes. No problem, Mikey B, no problem. So, we are tackling Beyblade today. Beyblade Metal Force. What have we missed? Well, we've gotten started on some simple cuts. We added a Jay Leno head. And on top of that, we are working on some earlier parts of the episode. We're probably going to dabble in some sentence mixing a little bit later on. Damn Piano Chan. That's right. That damn Piano Chan. Now, right off the bat, I don't know why. You know what? I think that the filthiness in me is starting to come out a little bit, because when I see this, the only thing I can think of is having it spell, the old calculator trick, boobs upside down. But I have no idea if that, let's see. The lighting on these devices is such that it's really going to make it really tricky to pull that off. Maybe I can. Maybe there's a way to do it. Let me try and look around. Calculator simulator. I can't believe I'm looking up calculator simulator. Probably isn't much. But what's the font? The font. Calculator font. Captain's lower like me. He loves gushing about the oldies. Don't even get me started, Dello Yellow. Yu-Gi-Oh reference on the calculator? What kind of Yu-Gi-Oh reference can we do? The Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Okay, let's see. Font space. Yeah, that's it. Digital 7. And I think that I'll be able to test this one. Let's see. Now, this is italic. I wonder if... Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Wonderful. Save image. And good. That's exactly what I want. Save image. And it's going here. But I don't want it to go there. What I want is for this. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And what I want is for it to go right back to Beyblade. And this is entitled text. Let's see what happens when I try to pull it into Vegas. It makes you think of adding Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh yeah, the life point noises. Oh my god, yeah. Forgot what that was. Honestly, one of the really cool parts of Yu-Gi-Oh! That it was so interactive with the life points. It made it sound so advanced. Swap the counter with the counter from Yu-Gi-Oh! That's a good one. Wow. Just called 7 segment. Okay. 7 segment. I'm guessing that's the font. Well, I went and downloaded this. Let's see what it looks like in Vegas now that we've got it. I think it actually is going to look good. Yeah, it's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Okay, let's shrink. See if it can match up. Now, I'll have to make this a little bit lighter in order to... Oh, no, I've got to work with the track motion now because this is as small as it gets on this. So, insert video track. And see here. I'm going to put this all the way up here so that I can work on the track motion and make this even smaller here. Track motion, by the way, okay. So I don't think I explained this properly in any of the other videos. So what track motion does is so you can edit individual clips, but track motion lets you edit individual layers. And what I mean by that is I want this to be smaller, but I've already gotten it as small as I can using the image edit effect. So by affecting the layer, I'm just going to get rid of that. By affecting the layer, anything that I put on this layer will have been shrunken by what I've done. So here we go. And you know what the cool, interesting part is that it's interesting thing about this is that it's just needs to be a little bit softer in order to... Yeah, but then it won't stand out as well. Well, maybe it won't. You could also cut the entire calculator screen with something else and put a gradient behind it to kind of mock up the original lighting. Yeah, that's true. I could do that. Let me see if also there is a point where the calculators, so to say, let me just go right here. I'm just going to copy and paste this. Maybe there's nothing that appears, like there's a scene where nothing appears on the calculator at first. Let's go right here. And come on, a little bit. No. No, but okay, but I might be able to use a mirror effect to get rid of that. So that might not, this is not a be all end all. So let's try that. Let's take a full-on snapshot. Yeah. And I could use the life point sound effects there. Oh man, I was remember when I was watching 12, watching your YouTube poops. I'm 26 from time to time. I remember good old times. Cheers from Chile. Oh, Bungee Sound, thank you so much for the warm words. Hola. Hola. I know some Spanish, not enough to have a true conversation, but thank you so much for joining from Chile. Are you from what part of Chile, by the way? You don't have to say it, but I know a lot of geography. I'm a big geography nut, so if you're from Santiago, awesome. Mayades took the YouTube anti-popular trait to another level. Oh gosh darn, yeah, he did. Oh my gosh. The internet even lets you take screenshots of a calculator. Yeah, I know. That's the marvelous internet that we've got today. Alright, so what I want to do here is mask out this. Let's see. Just pull it more into view. I want to focus on this screen right here. I do want to be as precise as I can be. I don't want to take a general background here because the general background doesn't have that same kind of lighting. This is clearly a painted background, not one that was taken from an actual image of a calculator. So trying to get that perfect replica is going to be a little bit off-putting. So I've done that. Now, the next step is to flirt with some other effects. I'm wondering what a mirror will look like. If I reflect to the left and pull this, come on, what can this look like? That might just work. Yeah, that ding, ding, ding. You know what? Let's get that life point noise right there. Let's get the life point noise since it's fresh on the minds here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Life points sound effect. Let's see if this is the sound we're looking for.
When you and the team are pitching.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for. You know, the weird thing is that they changed this sound effect in the other versions of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Okay. Can you upload the result of this live on your channel too? So, yeah, you betcha. I've been working on this since February on and off. I make music. Nice. Oh yeah, someone earlier had asked me about my taste in music, and to be honest, my taste is all over the place. Like one day I could be wanting to listen to, I don't know, Run the Jewels. The other, I'm feeling a little nostalgic. I'll maybe listen to Oasis, the Backstreet Boys. One day, oh man, but I'll tell you, this is going to sound really weird of me, but one album that I listen to like over and over again is, and this is weird because I don't know what this says about me. I don't know. It just feels like it just connects with me. It's Taylor Swift's Evermore. It's a pop album, and I know that there are tons of different folk albums that maybe, might work a little bit better. I don't know. It's pop. I just love it. I can't explain why I like it. It's just the songs hit. They really hit. Make it a Digivice, maybe, yeah. Another Digivice. Oh, man. Maybe make it a Digivice. If I make it a Digivice, man. I want this sound to connect. Man, I forgot about Digimon. I don't even know if there's an iteration of Digimon. Okay, that's better. That's what I like. Do you hate ads? You betcha I hate ads. There was an ad for this sound effect which only lasts 4 seconds. Follow the logic. I like classical and jazz the most. I'll listen to anything if it sounds great. Jazz is let's see. I don't know. Jazz, it's funky. I like anything that's funky, groovy, sounds nice. I'll put it on. My favorite VG song is the final from M&LBIS. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I haven't played any of the Mario and Luigi series games yet, though. Which is weird because, it was one of the big franchises on the DS series. I like that commercial where everyone is Taylor Swift. Yeah, I mean, the Capital One Rewards commercial where she's just everywhere. You know, she does that a lot. She in some of her music videos, I think she clones herself, for lack of a better word, so that she can kind of, I don't know, make herself into multiple characters. I am from Curacao. It's about 2 hours from Santiago. Well, close enough. If you look on the map, it's just an inch apart. What do you think about Emperor Lemon nowadays? Because he has a new channel called Downward Diary where he posts vlog-style videos where he talks about World War W and complains about dog owners. So, hold on. So, the thing about Emperor Lemon is that the only full videos that I have ever seen of his are his YouTube poops. And they, like, I think it was like a couple of SpongeBob's. They were rapid effects with the bursting sound and the obvious Vegas filters. He's now obviously gone into more video essays, but I haven't really watched some of them in full. But the thing that I don't get is his fascination with the downward spiral, as he calls it. Now, I wasn't following him around the time that it all happened, which I think was 2016. So it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't click with me. I haven't really yet found that Emperor Lemon video that I'm willing to watch all the way through. I subscribe to a few people that post, content on a fairly daily basis, not daily basis, but a consistent basis. I really do want to like him because I like Schaefer-Ellis a lot. Schaefer-Ellis just seems a lot more upbeat in his videos, positive in his videos, and I'm fascinated. I don't know if there's just a video of Emperor Lemons that I haven't seen that will click with me, that will, make it all come together. I just, man, I miss the old Emperor Lemon when he was making YouTube poops. Well, I mean, sometimes people just don't. Sometimes people don't have it in them anymore to make YouTube poops. When I came back, quote unquote came back, I wasn't initially intending to come back. It was just me flirting around in Vegas because I wanted to make a video about Bollywood music, because Bollywood is a huge industry, and that I have a wife who is from India, and that meant that I was exposed to a lot of Bollywood film and Bollywood music, and there's a whole fascinating industry. So I thought, it'd be pretty cool to make, for lack of a better word, a white person's perspective on all of this and compare it to some of the Western media. So, I didn't intend to come back, and lo and behold, I found the fun of it. And I think that for some people, they just forget the fun of making YouTube poops, unfortunately, because when you get really popular really quick, it does have an effect. And when you make something that is so big that you feel like you can't top it, it does affect you. That was me with the Star Wars Episode 1 video. So the focus for me is just to have as much fun as I can with everything that I do, regardless of the result, regardless of how long it is, regardless of whether or not it was better than something I made in the past. That tends to be something that gets left in the weeds for a lot of people. It's so sad because it's not just YouTube poop that this happens with. It's art, it's filmmaking, it's hobbies even. And there's no coming back from it for some people. If there's one piece of advice that I want to kind of bestow onto all of you, if you have a hobby or a thing that you love to do, never lose sight of why you love to do it. Never lose sight of that. We need government-mandated Taylor Swift clones. Oh, man. Government-mandated Taylor Swift clones. Oh, God, clone girlfriends. Oh, no, I missed the last word in that sentence. Goodness gracious. Like, can you imagine the songs she'd write? I love this 2011 stuff. I disagree. I think Emperor Lemon is a much better documentary commentator. He's found his niche. That's great. I'll definitely look at some of his videos. The last video that I tried to watch of him was him trying to describe this downward spiral. I think it was like, it had that thumbnail with his avatar of Admiral Akbar just kind of in the background, very similar to that still frame from End of Evangelion or what have you. I don't know, it just didn't click for me. It just felt too long-winded. I think that's just because he was trying to make it seem like he was trying to convey how big it was for him. The guy who used to do YouTube Poop News just wouldn't piss off. So Stuart K. Riley actually does game reviews now, by the way. I think it's called Working Man Games. Working Man Games. And he still has that wolf, the cowboy wolf illustration. Downward Spiral is relatable because it symbolizes intense scandals. And I've really got to learn. Maybe I should finish the video, figure out what that is all about. He explains his experience with the YouTube Poop community. Yeah, I got to that part with the YouTube Poop community for sure. I mean, there have been all sorts of people who have been put off by the YouTube Poop community, and it's really sad because obviously when you're in a niche thing, you're going to have a hard time trying to open up and connect with people who are outside of that niche. And that same goes when someone tries to join that niche. Sometimes the barrier for entry is so gosh darn high. He looked up to them. Yeah, I mean, looked up to him, and it was one of his inspirations. But when his style of YouTube Poop started to change, the guy was like, I think Emperor Lemon is on a downward spiral. Man, I mean, that's hard. That really is hard. I mean, I've had people who I've looked up to, I won't say who they were, but on one of my very, very, very early YouTube Poops, and I'm talking 2007 era, one of the popular creators at the time did actually comment something that was, keep in mind, this is 2007, so the word fail back then was more commonly used. But they commented fail. And, it hurt. And at the time, I was in high school, so I didn't have that sense of, I didn't have the same sense of bounce back effect for it to not affect me. It did affect me. I think that some people just, some people have it hit harder. It really does hit harder for some people. And I really hope that he does, whatever he's doing right now, if he's doing these video essays, that he loves what he does. That's all I could ever ask for. If he loves what he does, that's great. Awesome. Wonderful. Because then he's found his, he's kind of found his thing. Let's see. I mentioned him because The Fall of Civilization, where World War W. I have to watch that channel. Let's see what it's all about. It's a special one. It's unlike the rest of his videos. Okay. Do you remember Sokotoa? Oh my gosh. That's ringing a bell for some odd reason. I can't explain why. Let's get back to the source. I'm going to talk for end. Okay, so we're going to fix that up a little bit later. Let's just move on in the video so that you can see some other parts of the episode. Because there are going to be a lot of different things that happen here. All of them are extremely wacky. All of them are just Saturday morning cartoon. And holy smokes, there's a lot.
Get ready, Beyblade fans. It's time for the quarterfinals.
And don't worry, Fallen Demo. You're okay in my book. Don't worry about bad English. I mean, you could have fooled me. Your English is really good.
Ready, set.
Do I know about Camhem? The one with the dog fetish? No.
2, 1.
Come on, let it rip!
Okay. And that's the last time that I think we see him... Well, no. It's the last time that we see him do the Beyblade arena battle. Let's see. Opinion on Robotnik-style YouTube poops. Chairman Boogity Boo, I Teach Vader. I mean, Robotnik's one of those sources that is timeless. Like, I even watched some old Boogity Boo videos way back when. Gaibu-chan and Christopher's things liked one of my videos, thankfully. That's awesome. I think it's a huge, huge thing whenever someone you look up to has really good things to say about something you've made. Gaibu-chan absolutely rocks. He's a wonderful animator, wonderful creator.
After all that, I only got into the top 8.
Ready, set, we're going surfing on the internet. Turn Booyah voice into boobs if you're putting it on the... Oh, goodness gracious. Laplace is... My gosh.
2, 1.
Booyah.
Ready, set.
Let's see. Gotta go back to the Booyah. Gotta go back to the Booyah.
Way to go! Booyah!
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Booyah!
Well, it's going to be a little tricky to make this sentence mix work because of the fact that it's not a long O for an extending period of time. It's almost like an OI sound. So let's see what we can make of that. If we can't do anything, we can't do anything. Let's go to the calculator, which is right here. Let's see if we can get him to say it. Let's make this sound long enough. Now, the thing about the B sound is that it can be a little tricky. You think that the way that you start a B word is the same mouth shape that you end a B word with. But it's not always the case. Let's see what we get here when I try to make this happen. Alright, we might have something here. It's a hard B. It's almost encroaching into P territory. So let's see if we can soften it. Soften a little bit more. And then the S sound is so easy to find. Yes. There we go. Excelente. That's what I was hoping for. And the S sound is going to be so easy to pull. In fact, fun fact. Fun fact for all of you creators out there. When you're sentence mixing something, vowel sounds are very specific to the character, but consonant sounds, more often than not, are not. So that means that if your character, for some odd reason, does not use the letter S in their sentence, you can pull an S sound from another character, put it in, and it will sound exactly the same. The same goes for most consonants like T and P especially. Forward, reverse, then add the S. Well, in this case, I didn't need to forward reverse. Sometimes forward reversing doesn't produce the same sound that you want. I like this, though. I like the way this sounds better, though. But yeah, consonant sounds. They don't have to be character specific. You can flirt with them. You can cheat, kind of. Let's see if I can do this as an example. So there's going to be a conversation a little bit later in the episode that we can use, and there's going to be one character that uses an S sound for sure. I mean, it's one of the most common consonants in the alphabet.
After all that, I only got into the top 8. But last time we...
Yep.
Last...
Yep. So this character, he's saying it. So I'm going to pull that. Return to the calculator. Just remove this because we don't need the visual part. Yep. Again, I used 2 different characters for this simple sentence mix, but it sounds like I only used one. This is a great cheat to use for sentence mixing. It will make your life a whole lot easier if you ever have a moment where you need to do that. All right, so let's go back here. Let's go back to that scene where they're going down the escalator.
After all that, I only got into the top 8. But But last time we watched, you didn't even make it to the third round. At least you're getting a little better. Right?
Right there, that... I mean, the way this conversation sounds, I don't know. I'm picking up on some things here. I'm picking up on some things. And I'm going to change this from preview to auto, so that way it flows a lot better.
After all that, I only got into the top 8. But last time we...
Yeah, this character's voice... I'm assuming that these kids are like, 10, maybe 9 years old. Do you know a 9 or 10-year-old kid that sounds like this?
But last time we watched, you didn't even make it to the third round. At least you're getting a little better.
Like, who sounds like that? Last time we watched, you didn't get naked.
But last time we watched, you didn't even make it to the...
Man, oh gosh. You got a good ear for these things, Grimfang. You got a good ear for these things.
Watched, you didn't even make it to the...
Okay. Well, now we have a little bit of a... Oh, man. A little bit of an ethical dilemma here. I mean, these are kids. Do I want them to be saying this? I mean, it's one thing if they are adults or, late teens. It feels a little less dodgy. These are kids. Man. Oof. What kind of cup is that? Looks like a clear plastic coffee cup. Oh, my camera's back on. Oh, finally. It's working. So, this cup, this is just a little, just a little thing that I've got liquid in. You couldn't even make cake bake, to reference the things. Yeah, the Great British Bacon series. Great British Bacon series. Okay. Sounds like he's constantly on the verge of puking. The music plays during the escalator scene. That sounds like the Trauma Center YouTube Poop song. Oh, man. Jeez.
But last time we watched, you didn't even make it.
Man, oh man, I don't even know. I don't know if I want to use the get naked line here. I mean, these are kids. It doesn't feel. Ah, man. I wonder if there's something else. Maybe I can put this off to the side.
You didn't even make.
There's gotta be something else. I mean, it's a great splice. I think there are some things that you have to be really careful about using because sometimes YouTube can flag you for that. The joke that I wanted to make was, it was suggested by someone on the stream. The last time you didn't even get naked. All right, so let's see. It would definitely fly in 2009, 2023, dark. I mean, 2009, obviously there was Game On. And even in Game On Part 2, I have to be really, really cautious on what lines I'm going to be attempting to cross here. I had to cut out some jokes in that one as well. There was actually, in that poop, I actually cut out a very racy line because I felt that was far too much. I mean, I was already making race-based jokes in it, which was extremely popular back in the late 2000s. Probably not as much these days, but you gotta sometimes be willing to let something go. I mean, if it's going to make people laugh, that's great, but man. Now that I think about it, this Beyblade anime screams 2000s from the look and the voice. Yeah, it definitely screams 2000s. I'm going to take a wild step and say it's like from the mid-2000s where more and more of these kids shows incorporated these 3D models so that they could save on the animation budget. I mean, you could see the Beyblades themselves. I mean, there are a lot of these Beyblades throughout the show that all have that spinning effect, and it's probably looks a lot better for them to use those 3D models rather than animate it. Also makes it look a lot more, modern in the 2000s, I guess. It should be fine, but I think it would be worse if you actually depicted, yeah. Even the... Do you like risky jokes like that? Skooks says some bad stuff, but I find it hilarious. So, it depends. It really does depend. It's one thing, like, in the Game On series, everyone's like this tall person. You would think that they were in their 20s. These are very obviously kids. That's the hard part about using this source right here. It's about being careful not to cross a line. Okay, let's go back and focus on this conversation.
Yeah, but you lost in the first round, so you're getting a little worse.
I have a cold.
Oh, I disappeared again.
Next time, you should try using my Beyblade. You could get a lot further using an attack type, don't you think?
Beyblades have
thanks.
types.
But I want to get stronger with Sagittario. I think we make a good team. I know we can win together. Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Oh, man. Old buddy. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I don't know why the dialogue just makes me feel really weird. It's the way it's written. Skooks is nearly flawless except for that one joke that is just kind of jarring. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, but you lost in the first round, so you're getting a little worse.
What was that sound effect right there? What the hell is that? It sounds like the... My gosh, it sounds like a donkey. Alright, let's put that right after. Man, maybe I can use that throughout the video. Had a friend over yesterday. We watched some David Firth, and while it was always creepy, he had like edgy jokes in it that were funny and edgy in the 2000s, but now it's pretty yikes. Oh yeah. Now the thing about things back in the late 2000s is that I think that with the advent of YouTube, I mean, actually, no, I shouldn't say the advent of YouTube. A lot of that humor was very Newgrounds humor. I mean, you had a lot of very uncouth raunchiness to the animations. I mean, a lot of the people who were making Newgrounds videos were probably, very young and not matured themselves completely. Was that joke then? Yeah, it was the bestiality joke.
Yeah, right. Well...
What the heck? What is happening in this? What is this? Could they not figure out what to add? Couldn't they just cut this out? It's only seconds.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess it doesn't mean anything if you don't win with your own Beyblade.
In the end, the only way to get better is to practice, huh?
Okay, hold the phone. Maybe there is something that I can...
In the end, the only way to get better is to practice, huh?
Actually, that get naked line, I don't know. This is going to be... Maybe it'll work. Yeah, a lot of creators now in the 20s and 30s are a lot more concerned about things. Absolutely. And, I think that, creators that came from Newgrounds are, I know a lot of creators deleted all of their old stuff because of how raunchy it is. One thing I do want to do, I usually want to keep things up because if I made something and people enjoy it, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm hoping that they're not enjoying the tough parts, but there are jokes that I have made that I am particularly wishing I had not made way back when, but it was just the sign of the time, so to say.
In the end, the only way to get better is to practice, huh?
Yep. The only way to get better is to get better. Yep. Wasn't Tom Fulp in his 20s when he made stuff like Snipe Justin Timberlake? Probably. Like, I thought Tom Fulp was older than that. Okay, let's go to
the third round.
All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that sentence mix. There was something else that I wanted to do, but let me see if this works.
In the end, the only way to get better is to practice. In the end, the only way to get better,
Let's see what this looks like or sounds like.
Get better is to get better is to get
I wish there was a harder T sound on this.
better is to get better is to get better.
Yeah, that works. That's a good one. That's a good one. That was a good spot. Nice job on that. All right.
Practice, huh? In the end, the only way to get better is to get better.
Yeah, I like that line. There's probably another thing I could do with it. Now, I think this is the end of the conversation.
Let's get our act together and practice. All right, let's get our. All right.
My gosh, who was this voice actor?
All right, let's get our act together and practice.
And why is his arm so small here? It's like a Lego figure. The way you loop it has the same rhythm as Bulls of Parade. Bulls on Parade. Okay.
But last. All right. All right. Let's get our act together.
I really wish, like, oh man, this voice, this kid is such, it's so 2000s. It is so 2000s. And I think this is the only part of the anime that he appears, well, the only part of this episode that he appears in.
All right.
Let's flirt with this a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna take this, the old forward reverse.
All right.
Okay, there's that. There's that sound that we get from it.
Let's get our act together.
Hey, Captain, is the Velma YouTube poop finished? Not yet. I've made some progress on it since the original stream. I still think there are some things that I want to add to it, though.
Get our act together and practice. Our act together and practice. Our act together and practice.
My gosh, these are such hard-hitting consonant sounds.
Get our act together. Get our act.
Man, this is making me very tempted. Oh man, I don't blame you. I say go for it. Go for it. Like, download this, flirt with it, see what you can do with it. Just use it. Like, I believe you me, what you're seeing is just the beginning of how amazing this source is. Yeah, I'm doing a Velma YouTube poop. That was actually the very first stream that I did. You can check it out on the live section of my channel. Very first stream. It was... Whew.
Go. Let's have one more battle. Go.
Hey guys, look.
Huh? Ah! How did it get so late?
What's this?
Ah!
Who screams like... Oh my god.
Ah!
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is just one character. This one character. All right again.
All right.
You betcha. The all right with a higher pitch. Let's make it a higher pitch. So I'm going to go to the properties, and I'm going to increase this to 2. Pitch change to 2. And then I'm going to take the reversed one, change that to 2. Yeah. Splice that scream is yes. Oh my god. What is this? What is this voice actor? Oh my god. A little more hard. Make it happen a little earlier. Okay, I have to look this up. Okay, this is Beyblade Metal Force, right? Metal Fusion. Okay, let's go to IMDb, figure out who is this character and who is the voice actor. It's probably only going to show the Japanese ones, though. Let's find out. Like, I don't even remember the name. But I can go to the individual episodes, so... Okay. Rob Tinkler. Oh my god. Of all of the names to have... why would you have the last name Tinkler? Okay. Let's see. I need to go to the individual episodes and figure out who this person is. No, Season 1. Please. Season 1. Wait, there were 4 seasons of this shit? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Ginka, Kenta, that's the kid. Benkei, is that him? Benkei. Benkei Hanawa? Is that what he was? Oh my gosh. I need to figure out if... No, that's not him. That's... Alright, Benkei is one of the antagonists. One of them. Blader DJ. Yeah, that's probably the good name for him. Cameron Cassidy. Why do I think it's Julie Lemieux? He's a friend, yeah. Friend of Kenta Maeda. Let's see if the Beyblade Wiki... Yep, that's it. Hair color brown, eye color black. Yeah, that's him. I had a feeling it... So the voice actress is Julie Lemieux. Julie, what a job. I mean that in the best way possible. There were 4 seasons. Can you even activate Vegas 16 anymore? I want to get back into video editing. Vegas 16 I got off of Amazon, so I got it back in 2020. So I'm sure, yeah, you can. Excuse me. Wait, Captain, are you aware of the keybinds for the pitch in Vegas? I get curious sometimes. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm really not sure if I am familiar with them. To be honest, like the way that I've been doing it is kind of like I self-taught myself Vegas. I probably don't even know all of the things that I should know because I haven't bothered to learn them. I've taken what I've done. That's my mom's name, and I'm sad. I'm so sorry, Carnage. Okay, so Julie Lemieux has given us this gold. Oh my god. Let's kind of merge these. I'll probably flirt with that a little bit more a little bit later. But is there any more gold that this character delivers unto us?
How did it get so late? I gotta get home.
Battle you later, Kento!
Keep spinning, guys!
Oh my god. That is... Why do you use lingo like this? Okay. So, that's the last of them. That's the last of them. I am sad to say that is the last of them.
Stronger, huh? If I keep practicing, the sky is the limit!
Check it out. Talk about lightning in a bottle. We have our winner.
Keybinds for pitch changing are plus
Ladies
and
and
minus.
gentlemen, please give it up for the
Thank you.
winner of the
Thank you,
national
property of matter.
tournament and new holder of the title Blader #1, Kenta, King of the Beyblade Yumiya.
Oh, hail King Kenta!
Oh my god.
The king!
Thank you! Thank you so much, everyone! I'd like to thank my Beyblade and my agent.
My god. Let me just see this.
#1, Kenta, King of the Beyblade Yumiya.
Oh, hail King Kenta! King Kenta!
Long live the king!
Thank you! Thank you so much, everyone! I'd like to thank my Beyblade and my agent.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. These shows. Talk about a bottle in a bottle. You know what? Why not?
Talk about lightning in a bottle. Check it out. Check it out.
All hail King DDD. All hail King DDD. Well, maybe there's
Talk about lightning in a bottle.
Let's do this real quick. Bottle in the bottle. Okay. Let's put that right here.
Check it out. Talk about lightning in a bottle. Bottle.
It's so simple. Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank my Bay. Yeah, that's a good one. Kento, wow, they used it. Yeah, they used their Japanese names rather than Americanized them. I think it's just because there's some, like in the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime, Joey was actually, I think, Jonochi or something like that. And they could easily make it Joey and have it be, okay, we all know that it's meant to be Joey. They could use that argument. Taya, well, I think Taya was originally Taya, though, but Kaiba, that's a Japanese name. And, of course, Mokuba. My gosh. But they couldn't figure out any of the American equivalents for them, and so they just had to, they just had to keep the Japanese names, which I don't think was ever a problem. Because sometimes in those anime you could get away with that. Taya was Mozu, I think. Okay. Taya was Mozu. Alright, so what I want, let's see. A King DDD. Oh, actually, before we look up King DDD. No, I want to go back to where I was. That little daydream right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, of the title Blader #1, Kenta, King of the Beyblade Yumiya.
Oh, hail King!
My gosh.
Oh, hail King Kenta!
There's probably a D sound that he makes that would be perfect for this.
Check it out.
Oh my god, imagine they could turn Kaiba into Kyle. That would be the most 2000s thing ever.
Talk about lightning in a bottle.
Oh, hail King!
Okay, we have to revisit this guy's voice lines so that we can listen for the D sound. It's got to be from him because that's a very distinct vowel sound. So let's re-extend this image.
We got into the top 8. But last time we watched, you didn't even make.
Right there, right off the bat.
You didn't.
Well, actually, he's fused. Like, oh man, they're speaking so fast that the E and the N are kind of merging together, so it's going to sound like ding, 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 and that's not what I want.
Didn't even make it to the 3rd round. At least you're getting a little better, right?
Yeah, but you lost in the first round, so you're getting a little worse.
Yeah, one question about your tennis with May. How many rounds were there? There were 4 rounds. I think May made the 5th, but that's one of the videos I actually cannot find. I legitimately could not find. I mean, and the 4th round from me was just like a joke round because the original 4th round that May posted was just, I don't know, it was just this amalgamation of colors that didn't really fit with the first round that he had made. So I kind of made a response to that as a joke to, just keep it alive technically. So technically in reality, I think there were 2, but I think May actually did make an actual third round. I need to figure out if it's up someplace.
I have a cold. Next time, you should try using my Beyblade. You could get a lot further using an attack type, don't you think?
Well, thanks. But I want to get stronger with Sagittario. I think we make a good team. I know we can win together. Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Yeah, right. Well, I guess it doesn't mean anything if you don't win with your own Beyblade.
In the end, the only way to get.
Oh, I thought I heard it right there.
Only way to get. In the end, the only.
No, it's a fusion of the E and the Y sound.
The only way to get better is to practice, huh? All right, let's get our act together and practice.
What?
Go. Let's have one more battle.
Hey guys, look!
And then there's the ah.
Huh? Ah! How did it get so late?
Kind of sucks how the only videos ever tensed with May with round 2. I know. Well, actually, I think the fourth round I have technically unlisted because it was crap. But maybe I'll post it again.
I gotta get home.
Battle you later, Kenta!
All right. He doesn't say D in the beginning. Maybe there's something that I missed. Maybe there's something that I can pull from that would work.
Kenta!
And Michael Formokaba. Oh my God.
Long live the king!
Thank you! Thank you so much, everyone! I'd like to thank my Beyblade. I'd like to thank my Beyblade and my agent.
All right. Let's add Bay. I'd like to thank my Bay. I think it was right here, man. That's the thing about working with big sources like this. Everything gets really, really unorganized very quickly. It was the marvelous surrender of Piano-chan. Yes, that was it. DDD good, but maybe just the king. Yeah, maybe just the king.
I'd like to thank my Beyblade.
Man.
My Beyblade. My Beyblade.
Right here. Okay. Can you make a Crash Bandicoot reference? Wherever we can make a Crash reference.
Then you just can't.
Oh wait, that's an old one. Okay. Let's cut these, put them where I want them to be. Right here.
Oh, hail king!
Let's see. There needs to be a the because...
Oh, hail king!
Okay, let's find him saying the. He definitely says the. Oh, actually, very early on in the episode, he is talking. And he's talking in the crowd. So let's see if I could find a clip of him, screaming in the crowd. Because in the other audio, there's none of that background noise. But if he's saying the king, there is going to be that background noise. I want to try and pull like audio sounds. You can mix Bay and Agent, right? I mean, that would make Baygent. What would it make? What could it do? No, don't worry about. Don't be sorry about suggesting things. I keep. Don't ever be sorry about that, man.
What a day of Beyblading!
Spin!
Hey,
Kick some bang, Kenta! Kenta!
Yeah, that works. The ta in Kenta. The T is just soft enough to get away with sounding like the word the. Let's see if it works, though. It's one thing to work in theory, it's another in practice. me just do this. Let me soften it on another level. It's an awful lot like a D sound. That works. That works. Kick some bass. Yep. Well, his name's Kenta. Kenta. Kick some bass. Kenta in Animal Yokocho. Man, I'm gotta be honest, property matter. I am completely unfamiliar with that. I'm probably so unfamiliar with current Saturday morning anime style shows that are on right now. Let's see. Seeking. The Pokemon. Interesting. Alright, so let's add some CDI to this. Let's add some CDI. And for that, I'm actually going to go to a different folder because this is another folder that I have. It's a lot more disheveled, but I'm keeping it because there are some sources that I've pulled from it that are from here. Let's see. What I want, let's see, the king is more prominent in Wand of Gamelon. So, this is what I want. Wand of Gamelon remastered. Oh, but I'll need to make a ton of space for this. So let me... And I'll probably only want the beginning of this. So let's take this much.
What if something happens to you?
I'll take the Triforce. Onklet is under attack by...
Let's see. Is there something the king can say here that would really work in the context of the source? Especially if I can make him say Beyblade.
Send link. Send.
I just want this little image, this clip of him just moving forward. There we go. Okay, so let's see. The king. I've got his lines memorized in my head at this point. Duke Onklet is under attack by the evil force of Ganon. I'm going to Gamelon to aid him. Triforce courage. Enough of my ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner. That's the last of him in the first part. Saved. Saved. He uses the word saved me, and then, oh goodness gracious, man, sometimes these little bits of inspiration pop out when you're not expecting it. Okay, so we want...
In Hyrule. Please.
Let's see if I can make that work.
Father!
You saved me.
Yes.
Saved me.
If we can get the king to say, to get a B sound, or just a B sound from this video, this CDI video, the king might just be able to get away with saying Beyblade. Let's see if we can get a B sound. After you scrubbed, no, that's not going to work. It's a softer B sound. It needs to be a word that starts with a B or even a letter P, and we can soften it into a B. Yes, you can quote CDI backwards. Oh my gosh. It's at the point where I've got almost everything in my head. Duke Onklet is under attack by the evil... But is it... It may be too soft. Let's try it. My boy... Oh god. How did I forget my boy? I was thinking... Oh my god. I was thinking too much about the Wand of Gamelon. Because in Wand of Gamelon... The king doesn't say my boy, he says it in faces of evil. But let's see about the B sound here first. Under attack by...
I'm going to attack by the...
Nope, that's too soft of a B. It's almost like he's starting to... I'm going to Gamelon to aid him. I'll take the Triforce for courage. Don't hear me a sent link. Enough. My ship sails in the morning. Yep, we're going to have to pull from... We're going to have to pull from Faces of Evil. And by the way, welcome, Dinwar. Always good to have you. My boy. All right. So Faces of Evil, all scenes, blue screen. I mean, that works. I mean, I don't care because all we're after here is the audio. So let's pull that audio.
My boy. My boy.
Pieces all to warriors strife.
My boy.
Man, they needed to use the king more in those games. Okay. Let's see if this works out. If not, we move on to plan B. Oh man, so when he's saying boy, it starts with B-O. B-O, and it's a long B-O sound. So that means that converting it into bay is going to be really, really tricky with using this particular B sound. There's like, if I were to try and make that happen right here, let's see what it does. The B needs to be. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Why is there a photo of Jesus in your folders? You are not Catholic. I am using it in a YouTube poop, and I've used an image of Jesus in a prior YouTube poop. So oh man, there's so much in that folder. So much in that folder that is going to be turned into gold. Actually, let's see. I'll get rid of that so I can just let's just shrink it a little bit. All right, so we got Bay. Whew. Now we need the BL, the BL sound. Maybe we can use the B of my boy. Worst case, we think about a P. So we need a BL or a PL. The B needs to emphasize a little bit. I guess that works. Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of what I was thinking as well. So let's move it down to this part where we can adjust some of the volume. The aid. Just soften it right here. And the aid. Yeah, to aid him. Yes. Good thinking, Mike B. Good thinking. Now we need to just kind of get rid of this. Let's go back to Wand of Gamelon. Pull this to aid him.
Safely.
For me in a month.
Something happens.
On to aid him.
Aid.
Aid him.
Man, if we can get the king to really say Beyblade, that is going to be monumental. Okay. B from boy and L from Link. L from Link. Can you do a sentence mixing tutorial? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if I'll make it a separate video, perhaps, but there are wonderful, wonderful ways that I go about it. Send link.
Force of courage to protect. Send link.
Okay, so here we have him doing L. It's technically link, so L-I, but it's a long E sound, so link. That's how he says it. He doesn't say like link, like lick. It's link.
Link. Link.
But it's starting almost from a soft vowel sound. Almost like it's starting from a soft E sound. This could work. So if we take that soft E sound and kind of merge it with this AI sound, what does it sound like?
Laid. Laid.
Laid.
Laid.
Laid.
Laid.
Laid. And now if we take that B, how does it work? I kind of feel like we have to fuse this B.
Blade. Blade.
Let's see what we get.
Blade. Blade.
Okay, the L sound starts
Blade.
in this audio clip a little sooner.
Blade.
Yes, okay. Do we have it? Do we have it?
Blade. Blade.
A little more.
Blade. Blade. Blade.
A little more.
Blade. Blade.
Actually, let me just move this to another level. See if it makes a difference.
Blade. Blade. Blade.
Blade.
Blade.
Blade.
Blade.
Blade. Now when we put it all together,
A babe. A babe.
let's just...
A babe. A babe. Blade.
Beyblade. Beyblade. So we want to shrink this.
A babe. Blade.
What do we have?
A babe. Blade.
Oh my gosh. I think we may have done it. Let me just... I have to listen to it to make sure. Like, the one thing that I am always extremely careful about, when you sentence mix, you know what you're trying to make. You know what you want it to say. And in your mind, when you hear it, it's very distinct. But when other people hear it, that's going to be the challenge. You need to make sure that it is good enough that you don't want it to be like too seamless, but you want it to be spot on. This is one of those where it feels like you can clearly tell that the king is saying Beyblade, and that's so good.
Beyblade.
Now, the one thing that I'm wondering, can we get the king to say Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip? So to do that, let me just shrink this so that I can copy. If we can't, no worries. We got the king to say Beyblade. We can do this. But if we can get the king to say Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip, that would be a huge, huge thing. Like, if you're unsure, you can put Beyblade on the vid to suggest the ears of the viewer to hear it, like subtitle. Yeah, I mean, of course, because, I mean, I think that almost everybody who grew up in the 90s, 2000s, maybe even 2010s, knows what a Beyblade is. I'm going to have a title that's suggestive of Beyblade, and on top of that, the title of, well, excuse me, the opening intro I'm trying to keep as Beyblade themed as possible. I'm going to do that. So no doubt in my mind that the audience is going to know that this is the king saying Beyblade. Now the let it rip. Rip, is that a reference to Silvergun? No. Okay, so let it rip. Okay, it's a good thing I downloaded this. So this is, let it rip is kind of like the, it's like the phrase, the key phrase that's used throughout the show. In Yu-Gi-Oh, that phrase is, it's time to duel. In Beyblade, it's,
Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip. Let's fight an epic battle. Face off and spin.
yeah, no, he means subtitle your poops so that you can understand what he's saying. I actually don't like to use subtitles in them. I kind of feel like that's a little cheating. I mean, I'm not against having closed captioning automatically subtitle things using the YouTube feature, but I want it to be like, I don't want to kind of, I feel like if I use subtitles, I'm going to skirt. Like, I really want my sentence mixes to be really good as they possibly can be. And yeah, yeah, let the chord rip. Yep, that theme slap. Oh man, I'll play it a little more.
Time for
love that last 5 seconds. Ba-dum bum, ba-dum bum, ba-dum bum. Whew. Have I used a closing logos wiki? Not really. Can you use the subtitles sparingly? Maybe, yeah. I mean, one time that a few times that I've used subtitles in the past is with only like one word phrases, one word sentence mixing. And it's just because I didn't sentence mix it at all. Like there was a scene from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles YouTube poop, Heroes in a Nutshell, where one of the turtles says, for some odd reason, fuck-a-moly. And that I just wanted to subtitle because I couldn't believe he said it. It's almost like that scene from that classic Deeper Cut poop where he sounds like he's saying, I really gonna fuck my own cousin. That's one of those times where I feel like subtitles would be really good. I don't want to use them throughout all of my sentence mixing just because there is so, like, I don't want it to feel like, I don't want to cheat myself. I want to cheat my audience. So, let's get back to this. If we can make the king say, let it rip. Okay. What we do know is that, let's see, the word let. L-E, and there's an L sound, very distinct L sound. Okay, Duke Onklet. Let's see, but the Onklet is very muted, so let's find out if that's possible. Still does, I assume you mixed it, yeah. All right, let's see what we get.
If something.
Yeah, what if something happens to you? But I want the very beginning of this.
Zelda, Duke Onkled is Onkled.
Yeah, it's too soft. It's like the word onkled. Onk is where all the emphasis is. And in that sentence, let it rip, the words let and rip are going to be receiving emphasis. So, let it rip. Okay. Duke Onkled is under attack by the evil forces of Ganon. I'm going to Gamelon to aid him. I'll take the Triforce of Courage. Protect me. Don't Link. Yeah, I mean, the closest I could think of is using the word link somehow. Because you've already got that long E. The long E sound that's starting it.
To protect me.
I remember that YouTube poop. The people on thought it was a real word that meant something inappropriate involving a rope. I think strip dancing with a rope. I thought it really meant that. Maybe. I sub my sentence mixing a lot because it's been one of my biggest weaknesses for years. I actually started a poop recently. I was stonewalled when I wanted to sentence mix. Yet the thing about sentence mixing that makes it so difficult sometimes is that you're spending so much time scouring a source, audio files, everything, for something that is quite honestly usually going to last less than 2 seconds. And there are creators, myself included, that can build like these 2-minute videos with nothing but sentence mixing. It takes time. It takes patience. One of the best ways that you can circumvent a lot of that time and that searching is using sources that you know inside and out. And what I mean by that, the Mulan YouTube poop. I've said this in another stream. Mulan was a very easy source for me to use because I know the movie inside and out. And I could think to myself, oh, but I know this character uses this word at this point in the film. You don't have to seek the entire source to pull that. And that's why CDI continues to be so good when it comes to sentence mixing, because almost everybody who uses, who makes YouTube poops knows those clips inside and out. And yes, property of matter, you're absolutely correct. A transcript is one of the best things that you can have at your side.
If you don't hear from me in a month, send link.
Lee.
Link.
Okay, so we need a soft E sound, and I think there is a bit of that soft E sound here. Favorite YouTube poop character? Oof, that's a good one. Favorite YouTube poop character? I mean, I don't know if Haruhi counts, but let's assume it's from the main YouTube poop sources. Okay, I think my favorite YouTube poop character is Hungry Pumpkin, which is a really weird thing because, you know, Hungry Pumpkin was not exactly there from the beginning, but I just love the concept of gigantic pumpkin enters a diner, demands these things, and when you give him the wrong thing, he throws it across the diner. I absolutely love it. And the voice lines. No, I don't want that. Any updates from the last stream? That poop was great. Yes, I'm continuing to work on it. Don't worry, you'll see it fairly soon finished. Yeah, I checked Duke Onklet. I checked that one. The thing is that it's too soft of an E sound. Okay. Wait, did I?
Link.
Okay, here we go. That's what I want.
Link.
Okay. Okay, good. There is the fragment of a soft E sound there. Let me see if I can get a little bit more out of it so that we have a richer let. No, that's not what's going to work here. I want none of that long E sound. That might be the most that we get. Let's see if I can just skirt a little bit more. Nope. Okay. I might be able to skirt a little bit more once we get maybe a T sound. Now, the thing about the T sound here is that you don't need a hard T. You don't need something that's a word starter. Oh, man.
Zelda, Duke Onklet is
This we can actually use the Duke Onklet because it's a soft ending. Plus, the way that it goes into the next word, because the sentence is Duke Onklet is under attack. So when he finishes Duke Onklet, he's starting the word is. We don't need the S sound. We can use almost nothing for the T sound. Let me just see if that's exactly correct. Okay, I'll have to delete this. Come on. Could send work? Yeah, send could work. I'm going to have to use less of this than I thought. Okay. Let's try send link. Well, let's give it a shot.
courage to protect me.
The one thing we have to be careful about here is the N sound. The N sound is a nasally sound, so when people use the N sound when they are, when they start the N sound in the vowel sound, it's almost like it's merging. Let's see if we get that here.
Send.
I don't think we do.
Send.
Let it. Yep. For rip. Reverse R-E in dinner. It's a different... You'd think... I mean, that would work in theory. It tends to sound a little bit different. But let's try this first. I don't want the S. I want that gone. Maybe we can fuse. Now, it's got to be it's got to be right on. It's very busy. Very busy. See if I can get a little bit more. Yeah, we might have... Okay, this I'll have to work on in order to make sure that I can get it right. So now the rip sound. Now, or maybe reverse ER in dinner. Yep, sounds like lead. That's good. But we want it... Oh. I mean, the thing is that the D and the T sounds, you're almost making the same mouth sounds, and the sounds are so similar that the D could almost get away with being a T and vice versa. So now the rip. Now the rip part. Dinner. Wonder what's for dinner. Actually, I wonder what is for dinner. Okay, let's see what we get.
Try.
Enough. My ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner.
Now, the thing is that
Dinner.
it's a very hard R sound. Let's find out what it sounds like reversed.
And this
Nope. Yeah, the thing about reversing is that you almost get an entirely different consonant sound and a very different vowel sound when you reverse. I mean, you'd think it would work in theory. Okay. So, rip. We need R-I. Duke Onket is under attack by the evil forces of Ganon. I'm going to Gamelon to aid him. But Father, what if something happens to you? I'll take the Triforce of Courage. Courage. But courage has the emphasis on it.
Promise.
And and if memory serves, it's a very morphed.
The Triforce of Wisdom promises the king will save Ampa.
force of courage to protect.
Yep. It's too soft of an R-I sound. So don't hear from me in a month, send link. If my ship sails in the morning, I wonder what's for dinner. Okay. End of that. You saved me after you scrub all the floors in Hyrule. Then we can talk about Mercy. Take him away. Okay. Now, my boy, this piece is what else? True warrior. Warriors. Man. Going through these CDI clips in my head. The R from the end of dinner and the... man. I'm overthinking. I love doing these streams with you guys. You guys keep me in check so well. R from the end of dinner and IP from ship.
Sails in the morning.
Force of Wisdom safely return.
Enough. My ships.
Man. Now we need to see if that R is going to go well with this. I hope it does. I hope it does. I once sent into mixed Guanum to say package, and I think I did pretty good. I don't do it often, though, since I don't have a transcript yet. Oh, man. That's awesome. If you got him to say package, that's a wonderful job, Property. Nicely done. Yep. I mean, I'm always finding that sometimes CDI has not been exploited to its fullest extent, which is amazing because people have been using CDI since 2006. That's right, 2006. Okay, now we need the R from dinner.
Return.
My ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner.
Now, this is an ending R. So it's not... It's an ER sound. So it's not... It's almost like it's not beginning with that consonant sound. It's trying to begin with a vowel sound. So this wouldn't work. We need another R sound. Duke Gauntlet is under... So when he says under attack, it's almost like it's one word.
To aid him. Is under attack. Under attack.
We might be able to make it work. Might be able to make it work. Okay. All signs. Let's see. Let me shorten this one. Merge it more. It's almost like that A sound is still present, but the reversed R from dinner from earlier, worth a shot.
This is the king will save.
Wonder what's for dinner. Dinner.
Okay.
Dinner.
Let's reverse. Go to cut. Let's bring it on over. And let's see what we get. Reverse. And? It needs to be a little harder, that R sound. Let's see, how's it compare? This is very staccato of an R. We need a legato. We need a hard legato R. I'll take the Triforce of Courage to protect me.
The
My ship
Triforce
of courage.
It's possible.
Courage.
It's an RW almost.
Courage.
Let's see what we get. Okay, so we have the RW kind of merged together. Do we get any luck with this? Let me just put it over here so it doesn't merge too much. Okay, there's a ship. Put that right back here, so that's there. If we have to put it, these two back together. Maybe. What about I will take the Triforce of Courage to protect me, or how can we help? No, protect. But it's that R sound that I feel like we need because we have the IP from ship. What we need is that good R sound. Protect, not courage. Yeah, because what we need is the R, I feel like. I feel like we have to match the type of R sound that we need with this IP. What about scrub the floors in Hyrule? When he emphasizes the R's more in the Faces of Evil dialogue. Okay, Faces of Evil dialogue. Okay, my boy, this piece is what all true yeah, you might be on something there. Hold the phone, hold the phone. Let's go back to Faces of Evil. Link Faces of Evil. Don't need all this. I just need maybe a little bit less of that. Yeah, we're looking for the R sound. We need a good R sound here to make this awesome thing happen. Okay, here we go.
All true warriors.
Ah, darn it. The warrior sound. I mean, this is common with VAs. I mean, when you're sounding naturally, say the word warrior. You're not saying warrior. You're almost saying warrior. Almost like you're completely eliminating the R, or at least turning it into a W, and you're merging that A, the I, and the O together. So that's exactly what's happening with this clip right here. It's not warrior, it's warrior. So scrub, rub, yes. Okay, scrub.
We can get back to.
Yeah. We can get back to fishing. I don't want to fish with you. Okay. Let's get that little bit. Actually, we'll need to pull from the end here. Floors in Hyrule. The R is followed with an S here. The R is followed with an S.
Oh, he
Yeah, he was a bore anyway.
All the floors in Hyrule. Floors.
That R is still too soft. Floors. Yeah, because it's also a very short R because the king is trying to get to the S sound. And that's the thing. With an S sound, sometimes that consonant sound overtakes that other consonant sound, especially with S. It's so infectious. So, floors in Hyrule, then we can talk about mercy.
Floors in Hyrule. Then we can talk about mercy. Take the Talk about mercy.
Yeah, even here in mercy, that S sound is so omnipresent. Whew. Well, we got our work cut out for us today. Haha. High rule. Oh. Rule. Well, high rule. The emphasis is on the H. High rule. Let's give it some thought. High rule.
Zelda, Duke.
Let's see. What do we have? Let's kind of go back here. Refresh what we have.
And Rip. Rip. Rip.
People have made him say rub fluently, though. Yep. But we don't want that RU sound. We want the R by itself so we can mix it with the I, because we need a strong I sound to start off the word rip. Because in let it rip, let and rip have the emphasis. So that emphasis needs to be matched. He's not reading us. Now, don't worry, I'm reading you guys. Scrub. I mean, the RU. Let's try it. Let's see if we can take it from scrub. Let's try again. Rub. Okay. We'll have to go back, pull this back in. Man. This timeline is so full of CDI now.
Here's the traitor, your majesty. Please have mercy.
After you've scrubbed.
Okay. We do have a strong R sound. Is the RU going to get in the way? Yep, it takes a while for. I don't know if it's just because I'm a little bit behind, but sometimes it takes a sec. Takes a sec for the chat to load on my end. Don't you worry, I'm reading you guys.
Grub dolo. Grub. Grub. Grub dolo. Grub.
Okay, so we have. Okay, yeah, let's give it a shot. I might make this the last edit attempt of this stream as well. Let's see what we have. We need a strong R. This is definitely a strong R, but is that U going to get in the way? That sounds pretty good. Let's see if we can make it sound better. If we reverse it, what happens? I mean, the reversed R is interesting. Move it over here. Yeah, I need to turn it up just a tad so I can hear it a little bit closer. Make sure we've got something here. Oh, yeah, I had this reversed. No, I was looking at this and wondering, why does it sound weird? Maybe. That R is almost like an EH. Did you have the announcer say bottle in the bottle? I've isolated the bottle for the future. If you keep shaving off of microsynths off it, maybe that sound would disappear, perhaps. Let's unreverse it. Oh wait, that's dinner. No wonder I'm having. Okay, what did I do with scrub? I got distracted for a second. Yeah. Unreverse. What do we have? Let's keep shaving those microseconds off. Shaving them off just a little bit. Well, we're going to have to put this on the back burner. We got him to say Beyblade. We got him to say Beyblade. And, you know, sometimes just taking a step back and reflecting, sometimes something else will come into play. So we're going to leave this the way it is. Don't think about it too hard. And then if something else comes up, if there's something that we could have used that we didn't think about right then and there. Yep, that's exactly what it's sounding like. Take a bit off the start of the IP. Maybe, yep. Let's see if... Let's do one last try. A little bit off the IP. No, you don't have that distinctiveness. Yeah, oof. Sentence mixing, like I said, you're spending so much time trying to make something work. In reality, it's probably going to last a little less than 2 seconds. So, let's see, we got one more time. It's almost there. Okay, so what we've done today, I mean, obviously we've gushed about a whole bunch of stuff, but can't also forget all of the things that we have done. So we've taken this Jay Leno. No, that's right. Sometimes Vegas will not show this properly, but we got Jay Leno's head inserted. We also... Let's see, that's other stuff for the future. And we have also... This is something I was working on in the background. I have the Beyblade being knocked into the air, and it's going to land on his head. It should show in the preview, at least. Yeah, definitely takes a while for it. Yep, there it is. There's the Beyblade itself. And I just got to eliminate this one teeny tiny thing. Make it look smoother. We also have got a bunch of other things. We found maybe the voice actor of a generation right here. Not just Bummer.
Bummer! Totally bites!
And we've also, let's see, make sure we got this right. We got the start of the old classic calculator joke.
And the only way to get better is to get better.
Man, I will never get tired of that. We've got a bunch more stuff and a lot more on the way. Like I said, this is something I was working on since November. I haven't even shown you all of what I had put together to begin with. I'm going to keep that under wraps for now, but this was a heck of a lot of fun to work on with you guys. So, well, like I said, so the next stream is going to be in April. Pay attention to the announcements as I come out, so you'll know when the next stream will be. It'll definitely be on a Saturday, though. In the interim, it's been a pleasure. This is the Captain. Guys, you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll see you later. If, by the way, if you're at PAX East, then I'll see you. Just give me a shout on my Twitter. Let me know that you're there, and I'll see if I can meet up with you. But if you want to catch me on stream, like I said, April. And yeah, have an awesome weekend and have fun with this source for yourself. See you, dudes.